What's going on, everyone? It's Nina Infinity. Welcome to my channel on this Sunday night where we will be reviewing The Expanse Season 6, Episode 4. There's only 2 episodes left of the series, apparently, which is really great. Whew! Oh boy, that was quite an episode. We have today with us Jane Theory. How are you, Jane? Happy New Year!
Hello, Happy New Year to you and everyone in the chat. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. How is it? How is it cold in Louisiana? What's going on
It
down
is apparently it's freezing. In parts of Louisiana, got a little snow and sleet already.
Oh my God, you guys got snow?
We did.
Insane. Oh
It's
my
wild.
God. That's so crazy. Did it stick?
It did not stick, but I'm hoping it will next time.
Don't hope too hard. Be careful what you wish for, Jane.
We had a blast last time. It worked out great.
It might come and never leave.
I would love that.
And then you'll have problems. No, you wouldn't, Jane.
No, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh,
I want
no,
to
the grass
snowpocalypse.
is not always greener on the other side. When it comes to snow.
And then there's Script Doctor from the north, the true north. That is Canada. How are you, Script Doctor? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I'm doing well. How's everyone doing today? What an episode, right?
It was nuts. I'm doing great. It is different in Cancun. I'll tell you that. We are having the actual opposite of cold. We've had a heat wave, so it's been it's been one of the hottest winters I've ever experienced in Cancun. So it's very, very good. I'm no complaints. I have no complaints. How much snow do you have, Script Doctor?
Well, we had a bunch. We had a bunch on Christmas that didn't last till like noon. Like it just melted away because we were having these like ebbs and flows or peaks and valleys of heat coming in. So it's been -4 one day, it'll be like +7 the next day, and then -2, and then
wow.
Plus. So the snow comes and then it melts right away. So we had like freezing rain today, but there's no sign of it anywhere in my neighborhood. So.
Oh my gosh! And my mom is in Vancouver, and she was telling me that there's like gonna be like it's been bad freezing rain and snow and all sorts of which is really like weird for Vancouver because Vancouver doesn't get that crazy cold, but it's
no,
really
they just get rain a lot.
Yeah, well, Vancouver, that's what we're known for. Look at this. What is this? Excuse me. Excuse me.
Say the line, Bart. I didn't do it.
Yay! Pick the wrong clip. Before you introduce yourself, say your line.
Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. That is so hilarious.
Oh my God. Okay. We are here to review the episode, but George should be maybe possibly joining us. He was getting ready for the cold. So he was very tired. So he said he may not make it, but if he does, that'll be great. If not, love you, George, and we'll see you probably next week. Everybody else in the chat, I hope you're having a happy new year. Please smash the like, share the stream, all that good stuff. And I put a poll in the chat. This is the first time I'm ever doing a poll because I wanted to see what everybody's thinking in the chat. Who is going to kill Marco? I didn't have enough room to have 5 options, so I put Naomi and Drummer in the same role because they're like the belters. So I figured I'd put Naomi and Drummer in the same thing. So how is it going so far? Have you guys checked the role? Let's see. So 50% Naomi and Drummer and Philippe at 28 and 22 all of the above. So make sure you vote about who you think is going to kill Marco at the end of the series. The reason I put all of the above is I feel like it's going to be all of the above. I think it's going to somehow, like, they're going to arrest him somehow, and then they're going to have another one of those weird trials, and then this time they're going to space him. But maybe this time Drummer will actually like pull the thing. I don't know. We'll see.
I was thinking a simultaneous attack, maybe if it's going to be all of the above.
Maybe, or that, like a
somehow.
space fight. I don't know, but we
Yeah.
already had that and it didn't
But
happen.
we
So
don't
I
have
feel
a big
like,
one. We need one where everyone's involved, like a real civil war happening.
ooh, I see what you mean. Okay, all right, I could see that. I could see that. What about you, script doctor? Who do you think is going to end Marco?
Part of me thinks that they're going to do like they're going to space him in a similar scene that we saw like the season ago.
That's what I
But
think.
truth be told, I'd much rather have it be some sort of like he takes over a station or something, and then someone just pops him right in the face.
Philip will nuke him. I hope so. Maybe.
I thought, I kind of hope so. Y'all know I've been rooting for that to happen from the beginning. But with this episode, it's like I want it to happen. I think it will. But what they're giving us suggests that it might not.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird because I was thinking like, yes, Philip is finally snapping out of it until like the last like 10 seconds. And then I was like, wait, what? What?
Yeah.
And then okay, let's talk about it.
Crazy.
Let's
Okay.
get into this. All right. How about initial thoughts first? Initial thoughts, script doctor.
Too much reflecting on the previous episode done in this episode.
Yeah.
I saw that too.
The Laconian thing was quite nice, actually. I thought that was pretty decent.
Oh,
Wish
I had
got
problems with that. I'll talk
Wish
about
I got
it.
more of that because it's like, oh, great, we have a good setup.
Yes, we should have gotten much more of that. That's what I had a problem with. I had two problems. One, we should have gotten much more because I was expecting to have the pet cemetery scene done with and over with. Now, they ended it at the girl like dragging the body out in the middle of the night in the woods on a freaking stretcher. I was like, how's that even possible? Like, she's just gonna dump the body like right out the door because she's gonna like bump into something and it's just gonna go bloop.
And then why was it still there?
Yeah, why was it still there? Why is there no funeral? Where are all the adults?
There's no
Everyone's
alarm on the door,
gone.
apparently.
Yeah, like what? Like, I was so confused with that scene. I was just like, oh, okay.
And this is not a big house. How did they not hear her?
No, I don't even think it was it her house? I thought it was like the place where they had like the memorial or whatever, like her body was there, like the hospital or whatever. I don't even know.
I don't know
what.
I thought it was her home, but
yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
Okay, here we go. It was, where was it? Okay, here's the body. Oh, it is her house. You're right.
And their house is like a little trailer.
Right.
It's a little pod, an eco mushroom shaped house type.
No, and this is the scene too that I had another problem with was like this was all exhibition. Like what happened to the boy? Remember last week when I was like, why didn't we see what happened to the boy? And then they were like, they explained to us instead of showing us what happened to the boy, which was that he got hit. Yeah, he got hit by a cart. They said a cart, which was I was like, what? A cart? He got hit by a cart. And then died or whatever. And then they were going to apparently execute the dude that hit him. Because I guess in that society, they're pretty hardcore. Even if it's an accident, you get shot.
They can't lose anyone on a colony mission, I suppose. So causing a death could be like a fatal event.
Yeah, it's like a fatal punishment. But I feel like if you're trying to not lose anyone, but you kill someone because of an accident, that feels a little like kind of counterproductive.
It's weird.
But okay, like I mean, if it was intentional, that's one thing, because that's a crime. But if it's an accident, it's like okay, well, I don't know.
And he ran out into the street, I guess.
Yeah, apparently he ran out into the street. This is the thing. We didn't see any of this, okay? And I'm just like, why are we being told all this? It was an accident. Why couldn't we be shown this last week? This is not, I don't know. It was weird.
This was weird too. This was so creepy.
This was weird because I was like, who in the hell is this guy? Like, he just doesn't introduce himself and then he starts talking to this little girl for like 15 minutes. And I'm just like, what is happening? Like, nobody cares?
And the way they shot it, like you hear his voice first. Before you actually see him, and it's like a horror movie.
And then he's getting all like close to the little girl and having this weird conversation with her where I was like, is that her dad? Like, that's not her dad. Like, why is he comforting her like in this? No, it was the admiral.
Like the captain or something, right?
The admiral. He's the admiral of he's the guy that's running the entire place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like the president coming down to visit
It literally is
after
exactly that.
a disaster has happened or something.
That's exactly what's going on. And then, because I was just curious, I was like, who in the hell is this guy?
So
So I
creepy.
went
And then she
like,
holds his hand at the end.
I'm telling you, it was all creepers. I was like, what is happening in this thing? And then I went and did some research, and then I saw this. The Expanse introduces its next major villain with just 2 episodes left. So
What?
apparently this dude is supposed to be the next major villain of the other books that we are not going to get to see. And so I have come to the conclusion that this show is going to definitely be left up in the air. They're not going to finish up any of the Laconia stuff. They're going to set that all up for a possible movie or a series, maybe away from Amazon. And it says as much in this Screen Rant article as well,
Wow.
saying that his character is basically that maybe Expanse 7 will drop somewhere other than Amazon, or more likely a movie adaptation of books 7, 8, and 9 in the works. But that is all insane speculation, because we have there is nothing. There's nothing out there right now.
He was giving villain vibes, but why would you? It's 2 episodes left.
Yeah, usually you're supposed to wrap up your villain when there's 2 episodes left, not introduce a new one. But apparently, and we did see that as well, because during that conversation that he was having with the little girl, there was another tidbit that we were shown, which was the fact that the other gentleman ran in there looking for him. That's when we found out he's the admiral, because he was like, Admiral, Admiral, and he like ran in there looking for him because something had happened with some sort of signal that they're picking up. This is all the creepy conversation this guy's having with this little kid.
No one else is around.
Look at this. Look at this look. Like, no, I'm sorry, but
This is so weird.
No,
like given the direction, be sympathetic, and then no one said, you're looking creepy. Let's try this again.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I wonder how many takes they took for that. Like, no, dude, it's less creepy. You gotta play it less creepy. So then this dude runs in and he's like, Admiral, Admiral, and he's like, is something wrong? And the dude's like, yeah, there's something wrong. We got like some signals from this space station or whatever whatever they're doing things, and I'm not sure what's going on, but something bad, I assume, because apparently this guy's the villain. So,
and these are the Martians, and they were up to no good the entire time too.
Oh yeah, and the guy says basically he's from Mars. He's never been on Earth. This dude's from Mars. So this is definitely a Martian and Belter. What's it called?
One point I do want to make, I do like how occasionally you get characters who physically resemble where they're from. And from this guy who's going to be the villain or whatever, he gave me Martian vibes too in terms of his physical build. I thought that was interesting. I don't know
yeah, because he's Martian.
Well, yeah, but they cast it right. You know what I mean?
I see.
They haven't done
like
that with a lot of the other people as the seasons have gone on.
Yeah. Oh, we have Gary in the chat who's saying this. That's the villain for the last 4 books, Admiral Duarte. And hey, Gary, if you want to join us, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to send you the link right now. I'm just like going through Twitter to do that. But yeah, like, I mean, but introducing him now, that's weird.
It's so bizarre. Can't they just finish a story? Like, why do they have to piecemeal everything?
I feel like the reason they're doing this is maybe they want like incredible fan support to find a new home for this, because I feel like they're going to leave a huge cliffhanger. I think
but
that's
what's
going
on.
on.
They don't need it though. They have, it was fans who brought the show back. So like, you don't have to play these games and these gimmicks and everything to get your fans to support the show. Just give us a good adaptation,
Gary says, show is going to leave us hanging with quarter molecule blue balls. That is what's happening to me, and I don't have balls.
They brought us in the ring around Uranus and with promise of more things happening. And then with the lack of any future season developments, he's absolutely right. Protomolecule blue balls.
Oh my god, I can't believe you added the Uranus line. That was amazing, Script Doctor. So yeah,
So it's a cash grab, basically.
it is. It is. And then so this chick, she's like, "Oh my god, I can totally do the pet cemetery." And she's like, look at this. She rolls the thing out in the middle. Where are her parents?
How does
In
it
the
still have lights? Is it not plugged in? Are they running on
Well, they're
batteries?
futuristic. That I can get. Okay, like sure, they have
No,
their
I
dude.
can't.
This is a different colony that they've gone through space in a different gate. Okay, if
Okay,
they
so
don't have lights on the.
why isn't it floating then?
Good
I don't think
point.
they have
You know what? You're right. It
anti-gravity
should be
stuff.
anti-grav. It should be.
I don't think this
isn't.
version of humanity's able to do the anti-gravity stuff. They'll need like the centrifugal force gravity
Yeah.
or the burn gravity. Yeah.
You're right. It's not because they still got the stupid ships. There's no anti-grav.
No artificial gravity, no anti-gravity.
That's true.
Lots of thrusters. Yep.
Oh my god. But yeah, so like she's like, oh my god, I'm gonna roll this thing to the to that pussy face creature thing. I don't know, whatever the fuck that thing is. And that's it. I mean, I really thought that we were going to get the scene where she gets to the thing, or at least like, gets to the thing and lays down the body and is like, please help my brother or whatever. Like I thought we were gonna get at least that much, but
Nope.
this is all we got. And
That
that's
may be
it.
it may be the final scene.
I think that's gonna. No, I don't think that's gonna be the final scene. I think the final scene is going to be when he wakes up
Ooh.
and then goes to the colony and he's like awake and whatever. And Admiral Duarte or whatever is gonna be like, "What's this? How'd you
Duarte
do
doesn't
this?"
look Portuguese though. Duarte's Portuguese name.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I mean, it's all right.
I mean, they are European.
Yeah, that's true.
He looks European-ish.
I was just thinking like the dark-haired, olive skin or tanned olive skin European type of deal.
Oh, yeah, more like Greek looking, I guess. I don't know. Portuguese, no.
Portuguese-ish, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's it. That this is what we got, and I think he's gonna be like, I thought he was like, I think he's gonna be like, oh, like how'd you bring him back? And she's gonna be like, let me show you the pet cemetery, and they're gonna go, and then
they're gonna capture the thing. Maybe
we now have the secret weapon to take over the system. We can always live. We just have to make sure we collect all our bodies and bring them back here.
Oh my god. Gary says they're throwing in a novella side story with 6 episode seasons. Hope they have the movies lined up, or this is going to this is doing the fans dirty. I agree.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
That's the thing. I feel like maybe they do have the movies lined up, Gary, because it just seems like if you're like, and that's what the Screen Rant article was talking about. How are you going to introduce a major villain with 2 episodes left? And then just leave everybody hanging. That's definitely doing the fans dirty.
And then the other question is like, how much of the story are they going to really be able to utilize in however many movies they have? If we're talking about like 4 books worth of story here,
yes,
and we've had the pacing of the first few seasons be like half a book, then a book and a half, and so forth. Like, I'm assuming that for those last few books, the story and what's going on with the characters is quite dense. So even being able to extrapolate the best of that for a film, might end up missing some very vital information. And how are they going to reconcile that?
I feel like this is definitely heading towards a Game of Thrones cliff.
No.
It's feeling bad. It's feeling badly for me.
The reference to Game of Thrones just threw.
Oh God, Jane, when you wrote that, I was like, bruh, I didn't even pick that up. Please share with everybody what you said, because I did not pick that up.
There's this scene where Drama's given her speech and she's describing herself and her group as unbent, unbroken, unbowed. And I literally almost threw something at my TV in that moment. Like, how dare you? How dare you do this? But yeah, it's why are you? Why are
That
you
is what
signaling
she
to us that
said.
you're gonna be as bad as Game of Thrones?
That's literally what she said. And I was like, that line's really familiar, man. I don't know where that's from, but that line's really familiar. And then you said it was Game of Thrones, and I was like,
House Martell.
So the Belters are Game of Thrones readers. I wonder if they finished. Did George R. R. Martin finish the book Belters? Can you tell us?
oh my god, can we get an ending? Like, is that what happened? I don't, oh my god.
That's hilarious.
24th Century Winds of Winter finally is released. Takes the belt by storm. Drummer decides to quote it.
Oh my god, there it is. I found it. Hold on. I found it. It literally says it on the screen too because I have the subtitles on. Okay, hold on. Unbroken, unbowed. There it is. Oh my god. That's when she was like, had enough, which we're gonna talk about. We're gonna get there. Oh my
It
god.
took so much away from her speech too, because it was actually pretty good.
Mhm.
But then throwing that in, it made it so superficial at that point. I don't know. It just took me out of it.
It was stupid.
It was dumb. It was so stupid.
But we're gonna get there. That's the other thing I had a problem with actually, with regards to what happened. Okay, so then we start the episode with actually wait, before we get into it further, Jane, do you want to share your like thoughts about the episode, like in total before we get
Sort of the same thing. The Laconia storyline is the most interesting at this point. That's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I want more about. The other thing we didn't get here was Belters being Belters. I liked when they jumped. They made the space jump. I wanted to see more of that. I want to see more of the new worlds we've discovered, and I want to see more of the space battles and jumping and all that stuff. Like the politics is definitely part of the show, but I just feel like it's being drug out.
Very much so. And that's the plan now. At this point, this is the plan. We're not gonna get the Laconia thing. It's not.
Cheapest to film the politics because the politics is really just what we're seeing on the screen here. Just talking on a set.
On their set, yeah, which they've already paid for. They don't have to do anything else. There's not much CGI, all that stuff. So
it's a redress of the Rocinante.
But they're not covering any new ground. Like even the stuff with I forgot her name. It's the same speech. Yeah, Avasarala. It's the same speech. It's the same issue. We've been going back and forth now about whether or not the Belters can be reasoned with. Like, how many times are we going to decide that they can't be? Like,
that's a little bit too real with regards to actual politics and politicians just debating the same points for months on end and not actually doing anything.
Yep. I did love this. Harry Lime says, did we need another Holden and Peaches scene? Yes, I think we did.
I'm so sick of Peaches. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, not Peaches. I made a mistake. I meant Amos.
Yeah.
I love that scene where Amos confronted
that
Holden.
scene.
That was great. That was a good scene.
That was a good scene.
What did you guys think of this? With her filming all the dead bodies and everything. I thought that this was again a little bit like, who cares at this point?
She's making a propaganda film. It's like, I don't care.
It feels like it's a who cares, but I see what they're trying to do with Avasarala. They're trying to make this reporter is trying to keep her true to her intentions by making sure that it doesn't spill too much into propaganda by saying, yep, we died on this side, these people died on that side, it's terrible, it shouldn't be this way. I think it went on a little bit too long.
I think a lot of things went on a little too long in this episode. Namely this scene with them, actually, these two.
Oh, talking about Alex, yeah.
Oh my god. Like I literally threw my hands up at this scene because I was like, okay, look, Alex is dead. We all know Alex is dead. Nobody liked that you killed Alex, okay? First episode, it was okay to have like a couple of like, okay, like, we killed Alex, like, sorry, he's dead now. Let's give it a couple of tributes, so on and so forth, whatever. We're now 4 episodes in and we're singing songs about Alex. Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Are we going to have like any actually to the point of the story. This was so unnecessary, and it reminded me, the viewer, again about how much I hate that they killed off Alex, and that there's a piece of this missing now, and that's something that we'll never get back. And then they're trying to they keep trying to make us feel good about it, and it's like it's not happening. Like, and you keep like pouring salt on the wound is not going to make it better. What did you guys think of this?
I agree. It's just unnecessary. Why are we so? What I would prefer to see is what a lot of people had sort of been hinting at, that these two would actually get together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they do or don't in the books, but maybe more of some development of their relationship
Mm-hmm.
instead of just focusing on things that aren't going to change.
Except that this time they're like focusing on the dude that we shipped her with. Like, okay, so like,
Yeah.
are you gonna like what? It just doesn't make sense anymore. I'm like,
It's a complete, that scene did nothing
mm-mm,
to push the story forward.
It really
nothing.
didn't.
It absolutely nothing, and it was like literally like 3 minutes long. I was just like, what are we doing here? See, this is the other thing. Before the stream started, is that like I noticed everyone in the chat was talking about the mini episodes, which, to be completely honest, I haven't seen, and I have no interest to see, because if it was important enough, it would be in the episode. So I feel like it's weird to go and like make these extra episodes of like 5-10 minutes or however like long they are, and they're like, go and watch them, like, just by yourself. And it's like, why do I care? I don't care about extra details about something that you clearly don't care about when you're putting into your own episodes. Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't really care about it. Do you guys care about these like mini episodes?
I saw one and it added nothing.
It's
I saw
basically the Star
Peaches
Trek
one.
short treks, is my understanding. Because I'm
really
watching
don't
this
care.
through a Canadian app version of it, not through the Amazon part. Keeps on locking me out because when I click on the little dots to watch it, it never goes to it. Just, I guess, got the spinning wheel of loading forever.
Mhm.
So I haven't seen any of them, and yeah,
I know
not
George. I wish George was here, because I know George watched a whole bunch of them, and he was like, "Well, I mean, they don't really add anything either." Like, that's exactly what he said. It's like
No.
they're not really adding anything.
just like the Star
Um,
Trek short treks. They didn't add anything.
nobody
Yeah.
cares. It's just like something extra. I feel like if it mattered, it should have been in the episode. Maybe cut out this scene of however long this freaking scene was, and put up your whatever, that whatever's important. Give us what we need. 200 Watt Studios for $5 says, I'm really disappointed with this season. 6 episodes and they're still padding it out. Paddling it out. No, padding it out.
Yep,
Padding it
padding
out.
that.
No urgency or suspense. Is this the final act or not? It is the final act for now.
Yeah, I would call this a Western man's poor attempt at Eastern storytelling. Because Eastern storytelling doesn't often have urgency, but it does have like reflection and a need to do something, and the ability to understand the train and where they are, and then solve a problem. And it's a bit more passive.
Mhm.
But this,
Not so
like, I
much.
see where it's going, and I'm like, okay, can we get to the fireworks factory already?
That's the thing. Like, I would love all of this. Listen, I love extra things of character development, building relationships, this, that, I love those kind of things, but not when there's 3 episodes left to this series. It's not even like there's a season. Like, I feel like if it was like we knew that we're gonna get a season 7 or a season 8,
Mm-hmm.
or like we knew there's gonna be like a movie right after this or whatever, then I would be like, okay, like I'm fine with it. They're gonna like, drag this out and do this character development or whatever. We'll get an end to the whole Marcos thing, hopefully. And then that'll be that. And I'll get my Laconia and whatever else in the movies or in the subsequent seasons or whatever is going to come out. But I'm not going to get shit. Okay. Like, that is not what is happening right now. So like, I'm like, what? Why are you doing this to me?
I only saw one, but it was more like an extended day in the life.
Mhm.
It wasn't like an extended battle scene or something like that, or extended strategy scene. It literally wasn't anything.
Well,
So
like
I don't know what
I
it's
went and read
about.
about one because I was like, I don't feel like watching this. Like, so I went and read about like the one with Drummer and them, and I was like, I don't care about Drummer's weird polyamorous family. Like, I don't really get.
Right.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't why. 200 Watt Studios for 5 again says, thank you so much, 200 Watt Studios. Says, if they wanted to keep referencing Alex, how about going to that planet where the alien dogs heal the birds and effing revive Alex? Unbelievable. Hey, that's a great idea. I think they should do
It
that.
would be, but they have to know about that planet first.
Yeah, they don't know anything.
Only
yet.
the Laconians. Well, only that one little girl on Laconia knows what's going on, kind of.
Yeah, they don't know shit. I don't think we're gonna get to know shit either for a while.
No.
So thank you, though. Great idea. But you know what? That's interesting that you say that because my husband and I were discussing this earlier about this whole Alex thing because that Alex was his favorite character, and he's like, "I'm sick of all these Alex references. Like, why are we getting reminded of this?"
Remember that guy we fired?
Yeah, remember that guy we fired and we shouldn't have the life of the show. And we were just talking about it, and he was like, well, maybe they'll bring him back somehow. And I'm like, how? He's dead. Like, he had a stroke like in the middle of the thing, and like
they
he's
did something
dead.
with his body. Yeah, like
Yeah,
this is what happens when you fire the best cook on the show. Like, you get fed a lot of crap from everyone else.
I thought they spaced him, didn't they?
I thought so
Yeah,
because it
like
was
they
like
Ziploc bagged him and then tossed him out.
yeah, and now
I mean, I
like,
guess it's no.
but it's sci-fi. Like sci-fi, there's no one that's ever truly did in sci-fi. So like, look at like what 200 Watt Studio said right now. Like, I feel like maybe that's possible someday if like they ever find his body or something. I don't know. Joker Voice, thank you so much for the 5. Says, congrats, Nina, for yet another milestone. Happy New Year to you and yours. Happy New Year to all the panel and chat members too. Aw, Joker Voice, thank you so much, and Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Keith J for 5 says, 2 weeks ago, I was certain the showrunners would stick the landing for this reason, but now I'm officially worried. I am too, bro. I don't think we're gonna get.
I'm so worried.
Here's the thing. We will get an ending to the Marcos thing. That's the only thing I know. We're not going to get anything about Laconia. I've come to peace with it. I don't think we're going to get anything close to even being resolved in any way. Like we'll hear stuff about it, but they're going to leave it on a huge cliffhanger. I just know it.
It's coming. Just the fact that the seasons are getting so much worse, or the seasons, I guess is the last one. For now, it's so much worse, and the last one was bad too. It's so disappointing because the show was perfect.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Every episode, there was so much to talk about. Everybody was so excited about the next one, and for it to fall to this, where we're just in shock.
Yeah, it's going to end
on anything interesting.
It is going to end on a cliffhanger, a Laconia cliffhanger. I agree. I think so. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. And they're going to try and get another home for some reason. I don't know why Amazon's doing this. They have, I don't know.
They do have a lot of disposable income, yeah. But it comes down to a ratio. Is the money that they're investing coming back and then some with this series? And I guess from their perspective, they don't think it is.
No.
It's their own fault.
It is their own fault. And they shouldn't have fired Alex. Or at least they shouldn't have freaking killed the character. You don't kill your character, man. Oh. So mad at Amazon for so many reasons. So then we get this scene where Peaches is doing something. Okay. So she figures out that the nuke that was shot at Marco's ship, the Pella, it was shot at the Pella, was disarmed. It was not a dud. So she figures it out because she's doing like all these diagnostics on the missile system and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, you know what? I figured this out. But it's not my place to bring it up to Holden, and shows it to Amos. And Amos is like, I'll take care of it. And Amos is pretty shocked. I actually thought Amos handled it much better than season 1 Amos would have. I feel like season 1 Amos would have torn him apart. But we see some character development with Amos here.
Well, I also think that they had a different relationship in season 1. Like by this point, Holden sort of 2 has become an anchor for him
Mhm.
when it comes
Mhm.
to what's right, what's just in terms of decision making and all of that. And for that to be called into question was a fantastic circumstance. And I agree with you. That was a great scene between him and Holden, where he's
Great dialogue too.
I trust you
Yes.
because you make good decisions and I don't understand this decision.
Yes.
You know, fundamentally, I don't understand what you're doing.
I
And Holden's
absolutely
response
love
was
that
just
scene. And the fact
insane.
that he was like, I don't know what the fuck are we doing here? Like
Right.
he was like, what are we doing here? If you're not gonna, if you're not gonna pull the trigger, why don't you let me? Why don't you transfer the controls to me and let me do it if you can't do it?
Yeah. Because
And
that's what he does.
the only thing exactly the only thing that I would have made a difference like to the dialogue was that I would have told, like if I was Holden, I would have told uh Amos why I did what I did. I would have
Agreed.
said I did it because of Naomi, because I love her and I couldn't be the man to kill her son. And I think that Amos would have understood that because Amos loves Naomi in a way
Mhm.
as well. So
Yeah.
I think he would have understood that compassion and been like, "Oh, okay, then I still trust your judgment then," you know?
I don't
But he
agree with
didn't
it,
say
but
it.
I trust it. Yeah, like because that's the thing.
Exactly.
The conflict here was well justified, but the fact that the resolution was unnecessarily delayed, I don't like
Yeah.
those contrived things, especially given the amount of stuff that these two characters specifically have gone through over the
Mhm.
past few years. It's going to be like, listen, I'm with Naomi. You know that Philippe is Naomi's kid. I'm not you. I'm not the type of guy who can kill her kid and live with that and be fine. Like you're
Yeah.
that guy. I'm not that guy. And Amos could be like, yeah, I am that guy. He's like, because of that, there's no way I could be the man that killed her son. I couldn't.
Yeah, and you
She
know
would
what?
always resent me for it.
Exactly, and you know what? Like, and Amos should be that guy, and I think that that's exactly his role here. I think that maybe Holden should have been like, you know what, you're right. Like, I can't be the one to do it. You do it, and transfer the controls to him because if they have another opportunity, is he gonna just chicken out again? Like, well, not chicken out, but you know what I
Well,
mean.
that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if Naomi will actually have a conversation with Amos and give him that
Tell him to do it.
instruction. Yeah,
Yeah.
do it.
Which by the way, that was my other favorite part of this episode was Holden's conversation with Naomi, which we will get to right after I read the super chat by 200 Watt Studios. Thank you so much for the $5. Says, by the way, I'm now comparing this to Cobra Kai, which is compelling and perfectly paced.
There's
Uh,
no comparison.
I don't
Yeah.
really want to go into the whole Cobra Kai discussion because this is about the Expanse, but I do love it. And I did finish season 4 and I thought it was great. It had a little bit of problems here and there, but I thought it was great. It was a good season. Did you guys like it? Just a brief
Yeah.
yes or no?
I'm loving it so far.
I'm loving it. It's
Yeah, me
but it
too.
expands.
Maybe we'll do like a whole discussion after we're done the Expanse and Hawkeye. We'll do like a little Cobra Kai season 4 thing. 200 Watt Studios, another 5. Thank you so very much. Says for 5. Remember what I predicted here after episode 2. Marco's story resolved in the first half of episode 6. Then Laconia gate opens and we get a cliffhanger. I think you're totally right now. I think that's
Yep.
exactly what's going to happen. I have no doubt.
But
There's nowhere else to go.
I think though Script Doctor's right too about Holden's response, and I don't understand it. Maybe it was entirely contrived, but it made no sense with the relationship these two have at this. It's almost like they're regressing their
Yeah.
relationship for this artificial conflict, and it's hurting the story
I
and the
agree.
characters.
I agree to that. I agree
Yeah,
with that.
unfortunately, that's your daytime soap opera. Well, to a degree, it used to be daytime soap opera only, but now it's mostly your CW. We almost solved our conflict. Well, we can't do that. We still have episodes left. Okay, well let's
Right.
delay it.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you don't do that. You take it to its natural conclusion, and then you say, okay, because this thing is solved, therefore this is the next hurdle they have to address as a result of that. But they don't do that type of writing in your CW mindset. And for some reason, the people involved in this show are slipping into that lazy trope. And it leaves a very bad taste in my mouth whenever I see that type of stuff, and it doesn't have to be there.
You're right. You're totally right. Real quick, Elvis, you have a point. not about this one, because I read your other thing where you said that the Laconia gate's already open. You're right, it is open. I think we're just talking about like basically getting to that Laconia point is gonna be the main cliffhanger for our like the crew, like the heroes. What's gonna happen with the Rocinante crew? That's what we're talking about when like getting through the gate or whatever that may mean. I think that's what like I'm referring to anyway. And then Sean the Movie Man 71 for 5 says Philip is getting this Kylo Ren redemption arc that I just don't care about. Too many other amazing characters to focus on. Too much time on him, in my opinion.
But is he? Because after this
I
last
don't know.
episode, he regressed as well.
Again, he regressed again, and I was like, "What the fuck? Can you make your mind up? Like, are you gonna kill your dad or not? Like,
Right?
seriously, what the hell,
Dude.
It's annoying. At this point, it's getting annoying. It's like, okay, like I understand that there's a duality, right? And you know, you keep going back and forth, but really that quick though? Like, I don't know.
It's literally scene for scene
Yeah.
in a different mindset.
It's like such a
Maybe it's a
Dr.
teenager
Jekyll and Hyde
thing.
thing. Yeah, like I don't know. Is it the hormones? Like I don't know what I don't know what's going on. He's more emo than a pregnant woman. Like it's like one second he's like, you know, I hate my dad. One second he's like, I love my dad. One second like, hate you. I love you. God damn it. Make up your mind, kid. 200 Watt Studios says, I didn't mean to super chat so much. I'm pissed. You know what? If you're pissed and you want to throw money at me, go for it. I don't care. Yeah, keep it coming. It's all good.
If it makes you feel better.
Yeah, if it makes you feel better. Hey, I'm here. I'm all here for it. Speaking of really awesome people, though, here's George.
Hello, everybody. How you
Hi.
doing? How you doing?
Hey, George.
Doing well. Miss y'all. Happy New
Hello.
Year to everyone.
You made it. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you made it.
Thank
Because
you.
we were talking about you earlier. I don't know if your ears were burning or
They
not.
were burning.
Were they? Okay. Yeah. Because we were talking about those little mini episodes. Like, did you see any more of those? And
I saw them.
Do they matter?
Not one bit. What they do is they kind of do what this last episode did, is reflect on the reflection. They just continue to just add more depth, but they had nothing. It's like there's a drummer episode. It just goes into their whole polyamorous thing. And then there's an Avasarala episode, which I enjoyed, but it didn't give you anything new. It just went a little bit deeper. That's pretty much it. That's what
I was like, I don't care about.
Yeah.
I was like, if it was important enough, it should have been part of the episode. That's my that's my whole shindig with it. What did you think overall of the episode, George, before we get more into this?
I thought it was the weakest, in my opinion, of all the episodes, besides the Laconia part, which I started to like, but then I was like, okay, where's the pet cemetery? Let's get it over with. But then
Thank you, George. That's what I said. I'm
okay.
like, can you please get to the pet cemetery already? Like, you're just rolling the kid out, and I don't by yourself and through the woods. That thing's not gonna make it. It should have been anti-grav.
And I was sitting here going, what's going on? And then they introduced a new bad guy, and I was like, come on, now we only have 2 episodes left. You can tell the guy sitting here giving that, that monologuing, like, let me tell you about loss and how you deal with it. And this little kid's like, okay, yeah, I'm kind of handling it okay, but I'm like, and this dude's, I'm like, okay, so is he the new villain? He's got to be the new villain.
He is, George. You missed it at the beginning, but that's exactly what we were talking about. That he is the next major villain of the show, and that's how we got introduced to him. At first, I was like,
what's
this guy some sort of perv? Like, why is he talking to this kid? Like, because he was giving it like the girl like a conversation that a father would give a kid, and I'm like, who are you to her? Like, you're nobody. Why are you talking to her?
And he was kind of talking to her, almost as an equal, not as a child. Like, I'm like, dude, she's not your therapist.
Right?
But the rest of the episode, it's like there was a moment where I thought the son was finally going to go what I thought he was going to do is, deal with the dad and take him out. And then what happens? He just snaps through, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? But
that's what we were just talking about right before you came into the stream. We're talking about how he's so emo, and I was saying like he's more emotional than a pregnant woman because it's one second he's like, I hate you, Dad. 1 second he's like, I love you, Dad. It's like, what? Stop. Like, we need need the story to move along here.
Exactly.
And 200 Watt Studios for $2 says, "I'll use my hate rain on you, Nina, baby." Okay, you do that. You do that, 200 Watt Studios. TSM Space for 5 says, "I wish they made it clearer when the girl decided to roll her brother out because it looks like she decided before the wake, but it's not clear. It's not. None of it is clear, dude."
Yeah, she did decide before the wake.
Yeah,
She did. She
But that's-
absolutely did.
But that's the other thing. We never find out how the hell he died. It's just we hear about it. So
We
it
hear
became
about
like
it.
this whole exposition. I'm like, have y'all forgotten how to tell a story? Like, what the
This
hell is
okay,
going
and
on?
this is what I had a problem with. And George, because you brought it up, I'm gonna skip to what I was gonna say earlier. Thank you so much, TSM Space. Okay, so this is what I was gonna say earlier, and this is why I had a problem with this because with the brother, we're told what happened with the stupid cart or whatever. We're told all of it, and then later in the episode, when Drummer and them go into that whatever the container,
Oh,
the
that's
seal or whatever,
Mhm.
and that guy's arm gets cut, like it gets
Yeah.
stuck between this thing.
Yeah.
and
I
she just-
literally had to turn away from the
I did
screen. I was like, is this
too.
really fucking necessary right now to
Oh, when
cut
she
this
cut it
guy's
off?
arm off, like
Yeah, we didn't
Right.
have to
all
see
the
that
way
part.
and show it? We didn't need to see this.
I
Like,
thought they were going to use some kind of like new technology, some laser thing, where he didn't feel it. Like, here's the thing, it wraps around your arm. You don't feel any pain. It's, something futuristic. Instead, it's like, okay, let's hack away like we're in the Civil War. Let's just go. Okay, come on. What did she do to him? She gave him a kiss. Remember, I love you. Cool. You're just going to fucking
What-
cut my arm off. Yeah, that
What
arm
was
is really
funny-
going to hold me together while you eviscerate me.
He's
But
not
what was
freaking out saying,
funny-
"I'm left-handed, damn it."
But the guy, the older guy, was like, "Oh F."
Yeah,
I was like,
The
oh
audience were-
fuck. Yeah, like that was pretty good. But it was still though, like I had to turn away, and I'm pretty desensitized. I couldn't watch. I was like, and I was like looking at it. My husband's like looking at me, and he's like, don't watch.
There
And,
was so much blood.
and I'm going like, is it over yet? And he's like, no. And I'm like, is it over yet? And he's like, no. And I was like, are you fucking serious right now? And it's like, it just kept going. I'm like, so they take the time for a good long, like however long to show us the scene, but they don't show us the cart scene with the kid. I feel like
Right.
that was more important.
I agree with you 100%. What made me kind of laugh is I called up a good friend of mine right after I saw it. Now, when I was outside the delivery room when his wife was having a child, and his mother kept telling him, "Go inside, Tim, and tell her you love her." And every time he did, she's like, "Fuck you, get away from me." And I'm like, you know what I said this scene reminded me of? He goes, what? I said, go watch it. So he was watching. He goes, yeah, exactly. He goes, all that love shit, it doesn't work when they're dying in pain. So
Yeah.
I was just laughing. It's like, I love you. I don't know why that just hit me as funny. It was just, I love you. Hack.
Yeah, it was like we don't care.
How about
Well, the
some
worst part
drugs?
is they lift the thing off his arm twice and they don't
Yes.
pull him out.
Dude, they don't pull it out and then they drop it on it again. I was like, are you fucking for real right now? Like, they didn't even know what to do. I was like, these belters are so
And
fucking
she's a
ignorant
field
about
medic?
medicine.
What?
But if they can lift it, how did it crush it so bad?
See, I thought gravity. Why not just turn off the gravity?
Thank
I
you,
mean, they don't have
George.
artificial gravity. They're on a rotating
Right.
supply thing, so they have to stop the rotation first. But I don't know how they would do that because momentum's there.
I don't know. I
But-
just figured there's some way, open the door. Hell, I don't know. Maybe.
But I mean, when
I
they
would say like
lifted
an
it
airlock
up,
thing, yeah.
why couldn't they just anchor it? Like if you can get it up off of him, then anchor
Right.
it up with
The
something.
thingy broke when they were anchoring it.
Right. Yeah.
Because
The
it was so
lever.
heavy,
The
the
lever.
metal rod broke. That
But
they
if
were
it's that
anchoring it.
heavy, then how are they able to lift it?
Right.
That's what I'm
See,
saying. But then they did lift it once. And I was like, the second they lifted off, they had to roll the guy away. And then that's it. It's
but they
done. Like,
didn't. They
Well,
didn't.
yeah,
They kept
they,
saying he's going to lose blood or something.
Well,
like
they were
if
trying to
we-
say, "Oh, the crate we'll use the crate to keep the blood loss from going on." It's like, okay, I've never been in a situation like that, but I've had to take the courses. And it's like if something has crushed the person's arm and you cannot like cut off the blood supply to prevent it from bleeding out, you don't necessarily cut off the arm right away. Basically, what you do is you try to get everything prepped so that you can pull them out, and then you basically tie off the injury, and then you rush them to an ambulance or something that's ideally on its way. But if, like in this case here, I guess because they're literally in the middle of nowhere, there's nothing to do. If they could just say, no, we can't get the thing off him, and he's losing blood, and we have to cut off his arm, that's fine. But the attempt, the whole they got him free for like that half second, and then it breaks and it falls down. It's like, no, that's too much. Like, you're just dragging this out because you want to be another show.
They were totally dragging it out, man. And then they focused on the arm cut off part.
That's
like,
it.
How for like 10 seconds.
Was it even possible to cut with that little bitty knife? Someone to arm
it's sharp enough,
that depends on how sharp it is.
Did anyone else feel that this whole episode was nothing but like reflection upon reflection upon reflection? Like,
like that whole fucking song. I was just like, dude, is this seriously necessary? With like her with Bobby and Amos like singing Alex's song. I was like, this is so stupid.
I thought they were gonna get down, I was like waiting. I'm like, okay.
In the memory of Alex, let's go bang.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, in the memory lane,
I had said something similar, like that you would expect their relationship to be developed in that scene, but no.
Well, you know what? If they had done that, I would have been like, okay, well, at least
I thought, they're both remembering him, they're like both upset. Let's go bump.
Let's keep each other. Misery loves company, right? Like, at least you would be like, okay, well, something's happened, but nothing happened. They just sang a song, and I was like, okay, well, this is not spicy in the least.
It just feels like filler, more filler.
Yeah, it was. 200 Watt Studios for 5 says that cutting the arm off was the writers cutting off the last 3 books from the series, and an FU to the audience. That's exactly how it felt. Okay. I was like, why are you doing this to me the entire time? I hate gore. Like, that's the other thing. Like, I'm not one of those people that likes to watch like I've never seen Saw or any of those things. No. I'm just not interested in extreme
That's
gore.
Torture porn, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, this is so not this. Like, this is. It felt off the beat for The Expanse to be that graphic and weird about it. Somebody in the chat made a good point. They said, like, in this scene, was his arm growing back? I couldn't really tell what they were doing in the scene. Like,
they do have that regeneration gel. They talked about that in the pilot, right? When the guy lost his arm in that scene.
I thought he was going to get some kind of cybernetic arm and be, tougher.
Wait a minute.
There's a bio-regenerated one and a cybernetic one. Yeah.
Yep.
So then, if they can do that,
he should be cool. Hack the other one off too. I need a matching set.
Yeah, because he's looking at it all sad and stuff, and I'm like, well, okay, if it's gonna come back, then what's the problem?
What's the problem? Who cares?
That's why I was like,
will grow back, Homer Simpson.
Yeah, people are... Oh my god, I have that freaking clip. I will play it right now.
I'm gonna have to saw your arms off. They'll grow back, right? Oh, yeah. Whew.
Thank you, Scott, from Sporking News Podcast for that. Yeah, so apparently, like, I don't know, his arms, I guess, gonna grow back, which doesn't make any sense because then they made it dramatized for absolutely no reason.
Exactly.
I think it's because they're lost. I mean, does anyone else have any idea? Jane's script? I mean, didn't you think by now the story would start getting us to the end, wrapping up? I mean, it just feels like it's dragging out.
It's just aimless.
It is dragging out, actually.
Okay, so it's not just me, because I kept saying, like, are we all in a... I felt that half the time we're in a therapist's office watching people get analysis, especially the blonde with the son.
Amos lost a hand in season 4? I forgot.
No, he lost his ring finger and pinky in the gunfight between Wei and that crazy guy in season 4.
Oh yeah, dude! I totally
he had to shoot the girl he liked, and I liked her. She was a good character.
Oh yeah, he sure did. I remember that.
Yeah, fingers. Oh man, I totally forgot about that. Well, I mean, then oh my god, then this whole scene was even more unnecessary, and I'm pissed now. Like, that is fucking annoying. Oh my god.
Why didn't
There's way too much stuff about this episode that's just freaking annoying.
So it's not just me. You think the same?
Absolutely, man.
There's a consensus in the room today.
Okay. Wait a minute. If Amos lost his fingers, why didn't he get magic fingers then? He get no cybernetic kind of like ticklers?
No, they gave him the regrowth gel.
Regrowth juice? Oh, okay. That's not what-
I'm pissed, you guys. I mean, this is stupid. Meanwhile, in the episode, this other thing happened where this stupid chick is like all standing up to Marcos because nobody else has the balls to talk to him.
But she's done
apparently.
this before. We've been here before.
Yep.
I don't understand.
Well, he wanted to kill everyone, and she didn't.
But she's talked him down from craziness. Like, she's literally been at his side, talking him down from craziness all along. I mean, she's also talked him into craziness.
Right.
But she's been the one able to be straightforward and blunt and honest with him. And he's been impressed by it. We've been through this.
Yes, we have. Yes, we absolutely
Did you
have.
think? Did anyone think that with them sharing drinks, when he offered her a drink and kind of like the hatch door closed, that they were a thing more than just a general and his lieutenant? I thought that would have meant something different.
I think there's an implication there, but he keeps mentioning Naomi and like how he basically doesn't trust anyone anymore and like all this stuff. So I don't really know, like, or to be quite honest, I don't really care. Like, I don't care who Marcos is gonna bang next. Like, that's not my priority in the show.
Right. I just didn't know why they threw it. That's what I guess I was asking. There's so many of these little scenes that keep adding elements that do not move it forward. It's like, exactly. Who cares if he's offering her respect or he wants to have sex or the song that's being sung? None of these themes it's like we're in a hamster wheel.
Yeah.
I kind of saw it more as like, the respect thing, them mutually sharing a drink, maybe some sort of belter tradition. I don't know. I didn't get a sense that he was attracted to her or anything.
I didn't either, but I actually got the sense that he's respecting her now, and that the drink was basically to the fact that she wants to be the governor of Medina Station after all it's over. So she definitely has like skin in the game, and she wants something. Like, she's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like
he seems to respect the fact that she's ambitious in that way.
Exactly.
But we've been here before. Like, we know this about them both in their relationship already.
Yeah.
She's having a drink and thinking, I was in Scary Movie 2.
Oh my God. TSM Space for 5 says, I think he'll kill her, but he needs to make her cozy first. But she is doing the best for the Free Navy, not catering to him. I don't think he will kill her unless she does something to piss him off, because like he doesn't have anybody else. Like, there's nobody else around him that is willing to step up and do anything. I don't know. But then again, I don't really care at this point. I don't care what he does to her or what happens with the storyline. I have no, like, there's nothing for, I don't know. I just don't care.
Were y'all shocked by the belter? I don't know, it was a manager on Sirius Station giving that speech, like, let's get rid of the humans who are actually feeding us and giving us water.
No, not at all.
So
she's an arm of the Free Navy. That's her role.
But if they leave, they starve and die.
It doesn't matter. That's the sacrifice.
Yep,
that they all
gotta
die.
Make a point to the
That's
rest
their
of the
role
belt.
in the war.
Yep.
That was also another pointless scene, I thought.
It felt contrived a little bit. Like, you have women and children there, and Marcos just blew their stuff up, and they're kind of like, yeah, we don't want
to. And they're still blaming the Earthers.
I would compare it to people who in fact sacrifice themselves in real world conflicts. Like, we've seen people strap bombs to themselves, right? To kill the enemy. They're willing to go just that far.
Oh, I got that part herself. Yeah, but after she gave the speech in the last, not this episode, but in the last weeks, where she, it felt like she looked after the well-being of everyone. That was the first feeling that I got. But this one seemed more, like she doesn't mind if she dies. But I just didn't think she had it in her to sentence everybody else in series to death. That was odd. That's what I found odd. It felt that little out of character. Like herself, I absolutely agree. She's willing to go to the end of the line, but
I think she's talking them into holding the line, just like we see with Philippe in the one episode in the kitchen. Where people start to break a little bit when they hear Drummer's speech. He pulls them back with a speech mimicking that of his father.
Yeah. Speaking of that, actually, speaking of Philippe, so he got demoted after he mouthed off his daddy He was like, you know what? Fuck you. Get out of here, kid. So they send him to like basically do grunt work. So then he gets to this place where he meets this gentleman here who is a belter, and he's going to train him in doing like certain belting stuff or whatever. And then this chick shows up and gives this pep talk to Philip about how he should respect his father and how he's like the only one he's got left. He's the only family member he's got left, and he basically has got to step it up and like stop being a little bitch.
I think she was also trying to manipulate him too. The message that she was trying to communicate to Marco, I think she wanted to get him on board with communicating a similar message.
Yeah.
But he's a kid, and he's just not thinking strategically about anything. So
you mean Philip?
Doesn't have the
Because you
mind
said
for it.
Marco.
Philip. I think she was trying to get Philip to get sort of back on the same page with what they were trying to do and keeping Marcos acting somewhat sane. But he's a kid. He didn't understand that. And, we see that a couple times during this
He's
segment.
so annoying because one second I feel like, okay, yeah, he's a kid. And then the next second is like, no, he's grown up. Like he's a man. He's not really a kid anymore. And then the next second he's like a little kid again. And I'm just like, okay, what the fuck is he? Like, is he grown
I
up or
don't know
not?
what to do with his character, but I did like these scenes with that guy who's training him. I kind of got the vibe at times when he was sort of being a father figure Philip should have had.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, he was finally teaching him how to be a belter because he's not really a belter. He's just a little spoiled brat.
Bitch.
He is. He's not.
He's a poser.
He is a poser.
Perfectly.
He's a little phony. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know what to do. And this guy's like, all right, I guess I'll teach you like the most basic shit that everybody knows, but okay, like,
But did you get that feeling that when that gentleman was talking about his brother, that Philip knew that, well, him and his dad set those explosives and they probably killed him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He laid on it was the dramatic irony of the guilt of having, left Ceres in shambles and knowing that many of the crew members that are aboard probably don't realize what's going on back there and the details that they have.
Yeah.
And they're fighting for them and realizing that no, they're not really fighting for Ceres or the rest of the belt. They're fighting for Marcos.
Right.
And then Commandant VHS, thank you so much for the $2. I really like your avatar. That's great. Says the pacing would be fine for a full season. I 100% agree. If this was a full season and if we were getting I knew we were getting either a movie or another 6 episodes or something like that for the season 7, where we're going to deal with Laconia and all that stuff, this would be amazing. I wouldn't mind all this stuff if it wasn't so rushed, and if it didn't feel rushed, if it didn't feel like we're just going to get this giant cliffhanger that I'm going to be really upset about. That's the only thing. And I agree with you, Commandant VHS. I really do. But yeah, so then this guy, we meet him, his brother is still on Ceres. They have this whole moment with Philippe about that when he's like telling him about his brother and like everything like that. And
he's teaching him, but also showing him deference. So it's like he knows how to manage this kid who's unstable.
Oh, absolutely. Remember what he told the blonde girl right before he walked in to talk to him?
Yeah.
He's like, well, what would happen now if I shot you in the head? And she's
right.
like, oh.
That would probably send some money to my family and say it would one for the cause or something like that.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
She's ballsy.
She is. I did think that this scene was interesting though, because the other thing that was kind of like shown to Philip was the love between the brothers and how like a true family reacts to each other, like in terms of like when you miss someone and when you're away, and like how a real non-toxic family is supposed to like have emotions towards each other and how to feel about each other. And it almost seemed like it almost seemed alien to Philip. He was like, oh, like, were your brother and you close? And he's like, yeah. And he was an asshole to me, but then he raised me because our parents died. And then like he's telling him his life story, and it's almost as if Philip can't relate to any of it because he's never had anything like that.
He's never had a real struggle. That's the thing. Like Marcos sheltered this kid. And the other part too, which as the story I really liked about this other guy, is that his brother had vertigo and he could not work out in space.
Right.
Yes.
Like, that's a really cool thing to explore. So the entire Belter economy is space-based. So what can this guy? He's got vertigo do, and he's like he stole, he smuggled, he did everything he could within his station to provide for his little brother, who then we see him here. He's this competent mechanic trying to repair Earther ships.
And he doesn't feel like obviously like a Belter because he can't go out in space.
Right.
I really like this. I did like that character. I thought that was really cool that they did that and everything. Again, I would enjoy it more if I knew what was coming next. But still, but it was a good character. That this is kind of like going back to the roots of the show and how well they did character development and who new characters were and what they were about. Unlike the first character that we meet, which is supposed to be a major villain, and we were like, who the f is this dude? They did a better job with this guy than with the villain.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. 200 Watt Studios, thank you so much for the $5. Says, like Amazon told producer, they got a 6th season and would be the final season. Then after they finished episode 4, they said they cut the order to 6.
Really?
Wow.
I didn't know that. The producer, they got
That's
a 6th
really
season.
So does that mean we're really not getting anything because it was supposed to go longer? Is that what it means, script?
I mean, if that's to be accurate, yeah, that would mean that they were planning for a 10-season arc, which would be kind of like the standard, and that would make the pacing make more sense. But it seems kind of abrupt because it's a really bad form, not just on the industry side of things, but just in general, because you have to plan out your shooting schedule in advance. Like once the scripts are more than halfway written, you're planning out your shooting schedule, and you're planning out, okay, here are the days that we have to be outside, here are the days you have to be indoors, these are our standing sets, these are our new sets we have to build. Lots of hours go into that, and it has to be done so that you make your day and you can account for every single cent spent. For something like Amazon to say midway through production, yeah, you only got 2 more episodes after this.
Yeah,
that's kind of a crack shot, but it looks like 200 Watt Studios put another super chat saying that he was just joking about that. But
I was joking about the pacing deal.
That's an unheard of type of thing. It's like,
yeah, but that's the thing too, is that I've heard a lot of rumors about this very thing though that you're talking about, Script Doctor, that there was other plans like that to have a longer episode season and blah blah blah, that there was a lot of funding cut, like there was a lot of funding issues apparently because they took a lot of money in the last season to reshoot stuff with regards to what happened with Alex and everything like that. So that spilled over to this season's budget. And I've read there's been a lot of basically speculation about what happened with their budget because apparently that it was not good. And they've had to reshoot and, different things, COVID, all that kind of stuff like hurt them a lot. Eric
doesn't explain the writing though.
It really doesn't.
I will be back. Eric, hey, have some chicken wings for me. What flavor is it? That sounds good. I like chicken wings.
Oh, I haven't had chicken wings since before the pandemic.
Really?
Oh, that's way too long, Script Doctor. Get yourself some chicken wings,
No,
man.
I want some wings.
But yeah, back to the show. So then the next scene,
wasn't that last scene, or maybe it was later, where he was told what actually happened with the missile, or was that later?
No, that's a little bit later. That's
yeah.
after this. The next scene is where we're going to talk about, which is, wait, what am I doing here? Stop sharing this. Okay, hold on. No, why is everything not working right now? Whoops. Stop it. Okay, here it is. The next scene is Naomi. So Naomi and Holden had that conversation.
Yeah.
Where basically, I feel like this scene was trying to say that Holden, because of his conversation with Amos, realized what was really truly the problem and decided to face it and tell Naomi what happened. Now, I think that he should have also done this with Amos, but we got it with Naomi. And I really liked this conversation. I thought it was really interesting. I thought it was interesting that what the ending line was the key for me, because it was like Naomi said, like, I could have stayed on that ship and martyred myself to motherdom, but I chose not to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And now you're taking that away from me. Like, it's like
Right.
you're actually, stepping on my free will. I chose something and you were undoing that choice with your actions. And that's unfair to me. And that's unfair to the whole situation and everybody else. And I think that was a really cool line. What did you guys think of this conversation?
I thought it was unfair of her to assume that he should so easily bear that burden and that responsibility. If you want him dead, you kill him. I mean, you can't expect your partner, your husband, to be the one to just murder your child and assume that you would be truly fine with that. He's not going to be fine with that. What about him and having to carry that around?
You're right, Jane. It's an abdication of responsibility, and Holden's the type of guy who's like, if you want to put that burden on me, he can take it, but he can't. He doesn't want to be in a situation or a relationship where, and he has this great line where, like, you're sleeping next to the man that killed your son. Like, you just, that's just not the way to live. That's a similar argument which people in the comic book world say, like, yeah, why doesn't Batman just kill, the Joker? It's like, well, the Joker's been arrested and he's been put into an insane asylum. Why doesn't the government or the legal justice system kill him? Why does he have to? Why do they have to abdicate that responsibility and put it on Batman when Batman is just trying to help out? Like, it's not his job to, fix everything. He's just trying to help out and do the best he can. And ideally, you let the system that the people put in place do what it's supposed to do. And here in this situation, it's like, okay, you're the mother of your kid. You had a chance to discipline him. Maybe, and he resisted and was strong enough to get away from you. So you want me to come in here and clean up your type of mess, so to speak? It's like, and then and then what reason do you have to never resent me for doing that? Like, there's none. So why would I put myself in that position?
But I still think that, like, she was right though, because she said she made that choice already. Like, like, I made the choice to leave. Like, and she could have stayed and she could have, like, tried to kill him and become a martyr or whatever. Like, she was right. Like, she already made that choice. She made it twice, actually, because she made that choice to leave the first time. And then she made it again when she closed her eyes and she thought they were going to blow up the ship. She already made that choice because she could have, also basically, I think she could have probably disarmed the nuke or told him not to do it or whatever.
She could have.
But she had come to, like, that conclusion that the only way out of this is that he's already chosen his path and that he chose to be with Marco and he's a terrorist now. Like, that if what's gonna have to be is gonna have to be. So I don't know if I necessarily agree with you guys that's
well, I mean, she's made the choice in her head, but the choice hasn't been made overall. So she hasn't committed to it yet.
Right,
she can't. Until he's dead, there's no real understanding of what she actually believes at this point.
But we're forgetting one aspect. Well, first, I humbly disagree with you too. I love you. I just do. I think Holden here was maybe it's the Greek in me. I felt Holden shouldn't have gone to her and said, well, I couldn't. I think he should have taken the burden. It was on him to keep it. He loves her. Take the burden, deal with it like a man. Again, from that perspective. Also, he's not the one who shot. That's why I make it. He interfered. It was
Bobby
who made the shot. That was the whole point. He interjected himself. Bobby was the one who was killing him, not Holden. Holden just happened to see the screen where he saw Marcos, then the son. So Holden doing that it wasn't on his hands. No, but he was just
well, he's
flying.
the captain though. So
right, but he turned it over to the gunner.
Regardless, like, even from his Navy, the chain of command, it doesn't matter. The captain is responsible for the actions of his crew.
I hear you on that, but what has he done here? He now has gone to her, and she, by what she said, has already made her choice. Yes, it didn't follow through where she saw her son dead. But by leaving him with Marcos, that is saying, I'm leaving you for dead. Because today, tomorrow, next year, 2 years, the UN's going to kill you. The Martians are going to kill you. You're dead. It's just time. You're living on borrowed time. That's how I did it.
Real quick, the real issue here is what E. Clay is saying. Women don't always mean what they say. And that's, I guess, that's a valid point, E. Clay, because that's what Holden is saying. Holden's saying, hey, you're saying that you're okay with this. But really, if I do kill the dude, I know you're never gonna look at me the same way again. And there's some validity to that. I'll give
Well,
that.
yeah, like if the girl says I'm fine, are they really fine?
No, of course not.
It's fine.
Right. Oh, hell
It's
no.
not
if she
fine.
says it
Jay,
like that.
it's fine.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
walking out
if
of
you
it.
ever get a text from a girl that says it's fine,
Yeah.
period, it's
Yeah.
not fine. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that right now.
I learned that really young. It's like, no, I got a text. It was like, it's fine. I turned to my grandmother. She's like, what happened to you? Oh, she said it's fine. She said, you're fucked.
You are. TSM Space for 5, thank you so much, says it's true that the producers need to plan it all out, but in real life that doesn't work. Construction and software need updates and changes, and that's also true. But
well, if it doesn't work in Hollywood, it usually fails completely. It doesn't even get to this point that we see on the screen.
Oh,
most
really?
cases.
But it still doesn't. If we go back to the same thing, it doesn't explain the writing. It might explain CGI issues or production, the set, things like that. But it's not going to affect what they're saying, the words that are coming out of their mouth, and some of these scenes just are unnecessary.
Do you think some of them are improvised? Sometimes I feel like some. Okay, no, there's no improv in these types of dramas script.
No, this is usually all
like
scripted.
even The Office, which a lot of people thought was improvised for years, is not. Like they did everything in the script was the ums, I don't know, the pauses. That was all in there, and it was all specifically dictated to the actors of how to do that.
Oh wow!
It just feels like it's the only thing I know for sure was improvised was Steve Carell kissing that Oscar guy. And they didn't even.
There's
know
a couple of things. Take. There's a couple of things that was improvised also in Seinfeld, but that's because it's like it was filmed in front of a live audience. So those kind of things is different because you do get some improv in those kind of things. But other than that,
but it's
really.
not
Usually
guaranteed to go into the final cut that airs. That's the other part too.
Like so for example, one of the most famous ones from Seinfeld is the car episode, where the parking lot episode, where at the end the car doesn't start. That happened in real life. So really what happened in the end they were supposed to drive away and go home, but when they get into the car, the car wouldn't start, and they kept it in. And that's why it's really real, because you could see them all laughing their asses off in the car because it actually didn't start. It was a real scene, and Kramer's like trying to give her, and they kept it in because it was really fucking funny. So there's some improv that happens in certain shows.
But otherwise, what they actually block when they're rehearsing all the ums and ahs. I didn't know.
The Office,
I thought that was natural.
They did.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. TSM Space also for another $5. Thank you so much. Says Jane Theory. That's what I mean. They need to go back in and rework it because it's a good show, but it's impossible to get it perfect first try.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. They do need to go back. Jane, what say you?
Yeah, I mean, clearly.
There's a lot to go back to. Oh
There's
my God.
Lot.
Why I don't know why they do this to me. Why you do this to me, Amazon Prime? I mean,
understand. With what we've seen so far, you could do the first episode, could get right to the point where series has been stripped.
Right.
Like so much that everything that happens in the first 3 episodes you can do in the first with a really good pacing. Just cut out all the chaff that you don't need.
Exactly.
They could have given us the stupid Pet Cemetery by now.
It makes me feel like I've been cheated.
Yes, yes, Jane,
it's like, you meet someone fancy at a bar and they're really good at foreplay, but they just don't know how to close the deal. And even though you're like, giving them permission to, they're just not doing it.
Yep.
You're so right, Script Doctor. This is such a fucking tease. This is why Gary was saying we're gonna all have blue balls at the end of this. It's true. Yeah. So then this was the scene, Jane, that you were talking about.
Yeah.
So they go through the thing and they find the nuke that was that was launched by the Rocinante. It was a little bit funny because Philip was like again freaking out because he has no idea what's going on. But they do see this warhead status disarmed, which it was really funny because at first I was like talking to my husband. I'm like, wait a minute, doesn't that mean that they just gifted a nuke to these guys because they're just like they didn't have this thing is still working. It's a working nuke, so.
Just got to refuel it and load it in the tube.
Yeah.
How did that happen though? How did it just get stuck? Like it should have. I feel like it should have done damage.
It did. It
Even
cut
if
the
it did,
whole
It did
side.
do damage.
It
but more
tore
than
the-
just a little bitty hole inside. Like they just lifted it out of the hole.
Yeah, I think it ripped that whole panel area off. That's what they were replacing.
I mean, I've seen that in Star Trek too, though, or and other sci-fi
Oh, yeah.
shows where you get like there's a little bit like this happens. I think I've seen that in Babylon 5, where it just happens and then it's just like that damaged area and that's it. Because what it does is it's supposed to explode, and if
Right.
it doesn't, like that's it. Like there's no other panel or anything. It doesn't get injured. It's like as if like a rock goes through. You know, like if you're going through the space or whatever. That's the kind of thing that, it pierced the hull.
Yeah,
That's
it's
basically what
supposed to
happened.
blow up, but no blow up.
But
Yeah,
no
but
blow
they gave him a nuke. It's like, hey,
Yeah, they just gifted him a nuke. So not only did they not kill them, now they gave him the power to kill a whole bunch of people with their
Or
own
they may
nuke.
shoot it back at them.
see, that was the most powerful part of her speech. I thought Naomi's, where she's like, now you're making me responsible for every life that Marcus
Yes!
takes now.
I like that because that's what he did. He made that choice and then took away her choice of leaving that ship and leaving her son and doing all that shit because that was her free will that she chose to do. And then he's like, basically made her now responsible for all the people they're going to kill with this.
Well,
Yeah,
his
but
free
I don't
will is
recall-
he's not going to kill her kid.
Yeah, well, I don't recall her making a declaration that she has to, be the one to kill her son and Inaros. She just got back on the ship and then had a PTSD moment trying to jump out for a mission.
Right.
It's like you're not really in the best position to be making any decisions or doing really anything. That's why I'm distracting you with this ring stuff.
But that's Holden's point. You're right, script, and that's what they're showing us, that she is not stable and she's not thinking clearly because she has PTSD and everything like that. So we don't know what she's going to be like. And that was Eclay's point. Women don't know. Like 1 minute their mood could be like, yeah, man, I'm fine, you kill my son, it's no problem, and then the next minute they'll be like, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah,
If anything, it should have been Holden saying, Naomi, the honor's yours. Fire when ready.
Yeah, go for it. Katina
Amos.
Martin says return to sender. I love that. That's what they should write on it. Return to sender. And Man 71, thank you so much for the 5, says, I 100% agree with George. Holden should have manned up and killed them as they are at war. This is war. There's no time for love. No.
You kidding?
Also,
what are you fighting for if you're not going to save her love?
It's a fine line. War and peace. Also, the whole crew should have confronted Holden. Only 2 episodes left.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that Amos should have. I think that whole thing with Amos should have been. So I really think that he should have told him why he didn't do it. And I think Amos would have understood.
Well, of course he would have. That's all he wanted. He even said it. I just need an explanation just to understand. I'll back you in anything. Personally, I should hand it to Amos and Bobby. Here you go. You're in charge of whacking the kid.
Yeah, but instead we get a fucking 10-minute talk with Peaches again. And I was like, where are we getting this from?
I know.
Yes, Peaches.
I keep feeling they're going to turn them into a threesome. Him, Bobby, and Peaches.
Oh, God. Stop it, George. No.
No.
Stop it. No. They're already doing the polyamorous relationship with fucking Drummer and the
I know,
weirdo
but
family.
I just can't figure her role in this season.
When did that nuke? Oh my God.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't either because I thought she was going to be a weapon, but apparently not.
that's what
no,
I
I
thought.
didn't. Apparently not. You know what? Wouldn't it be funny if she kills Marco?
That would be
But they won't set them loose. Like her and Amos are the human dogs, right?
Yeah.
Send them on the mission to kill him and let them go do it. It would get done.
I agree. I agree.
We'll
That was
figure
that was the whole point of their characters. Like, just get her done. Like, you know what? Just go
Get her
kill these
done.
people. Done. You know what? Bonzo says, hell yeah, threesome. You know what? if they had done that, this season might be a little bit more interesting. I'll give you that. Drummer. We get to her and her weird band of family, whatever.
I like this scene.
I really like this scene too, Jane. This is what the Belters are about. This is what Philip doesn't know how to do. This is what being a Belter is. This is why the whole thing with Naomi going out into space and having PTSD is bullshit to me, because this is what they do.
Right.
This is what they're bred to
point.
do.
Yeah.
And I think that this was a great scene to showcase what Belters are capable of. And I really love that. But at the same time, again, it makes no sense why Naomi would be weird about it. But then she was like, oh, because I was PTSDing about the corridor and going back and forth. I'm like, then you should be having a PTSD going into a corridor, not into space.
Right.
But that's fine. So then they're going into this thing with the what's it called?
Cargo containers.
Thank you. The cargo container thingy.
I think these are his
this scene was
supplies
cool.
or something.
Like 18-wheelers in space or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they're like literally cargo containers all stuck together. And then they do this thing. They put their grappling hooks into it. Meanwhile, this chick is running the ship. And she's there waiting for them. They're trying to steal Inaros' crap. But when they get there, it seems kind of dead. And they're like, well, what the hell's going on? And then all of a sudden they get attacked. And that's what happens with this guy's arm. This guy's arms gets shut off and blah, blah, blah. And I don't really want to like show that on screen. So I'm going to like fast forward this part again. So what did you guys think about all that though? Like, okay, so they did all of that to.
I loved it.
But then they let go of the stuff though. I didn't understand that part.
Was on
I was
purpose,
like,
though. It seems like this was Marcos, like one of his
supply depots.
Supply depots, exactly. Yeah. And I love how they showed that, how he had it spinning in space in a particular location where he could go back and forth to it as needed. Like storing something in space. That was so cool to me. But by cutting it loose, you untethered it. Right. And now it's gone.
Well, that's the thing that I don't agree with, Jane, because I think that what they should have done with it is taken a series station and fed those people. I don't understand why they let it go. It made no sense to me.
I think they were going to, but until they got attacked and that dude, they had to chop his arm and they didn't know if there were going to be others. Remember, because their location was
right.
given away? I think that's what happened. She was just improvising.
Yeah, if they had brought it back, who knows? It probably would have been an army of people attacking.
Because remember the guy that she convinced from the golden rainbow, whatever. He's like, he didn't really want to do anything unless they're gonna make money.
Yeah. I remember that.
I don't think he wanted to walk away with just whatever you can carry. I think it was just circumstances.
I think it would have been smarter for them just to tow it before boarding it, anyways.
Yeah. That's what I thought, Script Doctor. I'm like, why aren't they just fucking like towing it? Like put your grappling ships from the ship into the thing and then just take it.
Take it,
yeah.
To the nearest station. Gotten that scene.
Take it, get it around series and be like, okay, we have to do an inspection, make sure this is safe.
Yeah.
Like,
but I was fine with that, Jane. I mean, that would have made more sense.
I know, but I liked it.
It was good action. It was good action. I really liked the action.
They could have still gone out into space to see what's going on because they still had to like go and get the ship. If it was at series, they still had to go inside it and everything. You would have still gotten the scene. It's just it would have been a little bit different.
No chopping the arm off.
Made more sense. No chopping the arm off. Yeah. TSM Space for 5 says, I think it would be completely opposite. The Earthers would be super polyamorous, and the Belters would be like Klingons, cold like space. Oh, that's funny. But I don't think that they did that in this series. I think they're more like the Belters are like very like
they're very unified, and they also need to grow their numbers. So
that's the hard part.
They were tethering them both, but the one that got cut off, I mean, they're no longer connected. So how are they towing them both?
I don't think they are. That one's not connected, and that one drifted away.
Didn't they blow one up when she made that video? Like, we destroyed some of your stuff. I thought that's what her video said to him. Like, besides you're a coward and you haven't killed us. When Drummer made the video to Marcos that broadcasted everywhere, didn't she say in the first part of the speech, we like destroyed your stuff or took your stuff? I can't remember.
I think she said took your stuff, but I don't remember either. But I'm pretty sure that they just let it go because I remember like they blew up that line and it just like floated
and you could
away.
see it floating away.
Yeah. I remember that
blow it up. Yeah, I'm just trying to look for that scene.
I mean, I suppose they could go after it, but
I mean, they could if they like put a tracker on it maybe, and then they can go get it later. I don't know. But there it is. So they cut off the tether, and then it just kind of like floats away, and then she's all like, "Turn on my microphone." I'm going to give a speech now.
She always
there-
struggles to talk. It's like she doesn't know how to use her muscles to speak. She's got this weird accent, this weird every word takes like a great deal of effort for her to project.
I think she's trying to use their English accent because
Yeah.
that's not how they normally speak, right? They speak a sort of pidgin or
Belter.
Creole belter
Yeah.
language normally.
They have the belter language. She's got a weird accent because she's got the belter slash like she's trying to talk English, so she's like got like weird belter English accent. 200 Watt Studios for 2 says, Nina, what are you using to video capture the show? No comment.
I use Opera GX because you can actually put your streaming service into the web browser and then you can pull the video out of it if you want to, or pull clips out of it if you want to. So.
Oh,
that's
wow.
cool.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do.
I mean, I know it works for Crave and it works for Disney Plus. I don't know if it works for any of the other streaming services, but it does for me at least on those.
I did exactly what Script Doctor did. Like word for word. Whatever you just said, that's exactly what I did.
Okay, they're saying that the other ships that were with them went and got the supplies.
Oh, is that what it was? All right. Well, I don't know. It wasn't clear.
Well,
I
if
mean,
they got them, then there's some potential for that storyline to continue. So.
Yeah.
oh God, you guys, I just went right on that scene where that guy's arm was getting cut off. Fuck off. Oh my God. That was terrible. Okay, then we
That
get this.
scene went way too long.
God, I just saw it.
Have we ever
again.
gotten a scene like that in The Expanse? I can't.
No,
recall.
we haven't.
No, we did in the pilot. The guy got his arm frozen and shattered off, and
That's right.
But that wasn't
bloody.
as bad as this.
So graphic, man. It wasn't like this. I don't remember it being this graphic.
I've never had to turn away from this
Neither
show
have
before.
I. But then, yeah, this is what we get after that awful arm cutting scene. Is this scene with Peaches and
I'm sick
Holden.
of Peaches. I don't care.
Well, she admits to him that she's the one that found out, and he's like, "Oh, okay."
I don't care.
Because it's a waste of a scene. I know.
It's dumb. It's
Holden
dumb.
just looks exhausted. Just send him to bed at this
Right.
point. He just let him go to take a nap.
He just needs to go away. What was she doing? Oh, she was looking at
watching the
Philip's
news
face.
report. Yeah.
There's Philip's face. And
Yeah.
she's
She looks
looking
just
up.
like him. That was perfect casting.
You know what? You're right. And that's the one thing too. They look really similar. It's uncanny. And actually it was funny because when that was what Holden said too, like he looks just like you. Like I couldn't do it. It's like he was looking at her. Like, it's just like, no, I couldn't do it, man. I get it. I kind of understand where he's coming from. 201 Studios says, thank you, Script. Thank you for nothing, Nina. Hey, I do what Script Doctor does. So there you go. You got your answer. Thank God Script Doctor's here. This guy got his head blown off before. I don't remember that.
Oh yeah.
On which season?
That
You
was
know
I think
what?
season 2.
Yeah, the thing is that there has been violence in this show. Like, not that there hasn't been. It just wasn't as graphic as that scene and as dragged out. Like a guy getting his head blown off is like literally like 2 seconds. It's like, okay, whatever, that happens. They're cutting a guy's arm off. Like it was just like, let me go at this, and they're like. Cameras like right into like the bone and like just like focused on it. And it's just like, dude, like, do we really need to be looking at this right now? Meanwhile, a character gets hit by a cart with nothing. Like there's no, no. Like, why did this kid get hit? Do you remember last week I was like saying like, how did this kid like fucking get so injured from playing soccer? Like, because that's what they explained. He's like, I'm gonna go play soccer, and then the next scene he's like bleeding from the head and like. His legs all jacked up.
They didn't set it up properly because in the first episode of this season, when the little girl runs back home, she almost gets hit by a little cart, and then the guy's like freaking out at her. I'm like, oh, so that's supposed to be the telegraph that an accident can happen, and then we wait 3 episodes before it actually is paid off.
Oh my God, I totally forgot about that script doctor. And see, this is why I hate. I don't like that. I don't like that I'm forgetting things so fast in this season. That was what, like 4 episodes ago, and I've already forgotten that scene.
Yeah.
That's terrible. 200 West Studios for 2 says drummer speaks weird because the actress is Canadian. Oh, that's true. She is.
Cara G, yeah, she's she's from Canada. She's from Alberta, but she has other accents.
She's great. I like her. She's
Yeah.
representing Canada. Wait, who were you guys talking about? Who's 45?
They were saying that she looks 35 and her son looks 25, so it's not believable. And I was just making the black don't crack joke.
Oh my God. That is also true. It's like, what's his name? The guy that died. The black guy. What was his name?
No idea.
The main black guy that died from
Oh, the
station.
leader of the more sensible
Anderson
group of
Dawes? Is
terrorists?
that what his name is? Anderson Dawes?
No, Anderson Dawes is from the Belter side. You're talking about
that was
the Earther.
Yeah. Who was running the behemoth at the time, wasn't he? That area.
Yes, that guy. That guy is from The Wire, and he looks
Yep.
exactly the same. Thank you. Yes, Fred
Fred.
Johnson.
Fred Johnson, right? Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
He's only
Chad.
10 years older than I am. He's 47. Yeah.
That guy looks great for his age, and he was in The Wire, and I remember him from The Wire. I was like, oh my God, that guy's in The Wire. Like, and he looks exactly the same. You're right, James.
He's Clyden in the Orville.
He is in the Orville too. Oh my God, I can't wait for the Orville to come out. That's gonna be a good show. All right. Then this useless scene. Oh, the kitty.
Well, he didn't need him, we found out.
Yeah, they didn't.
Last
I wonder
week we
if
were
he
like,
died in the blast. But I guess he didn't die in the blast either.
I'm glad he didn't die because it felt like that was set up in the last episode that he was the cause for the bomb, but I'm glad that was not the case.
Yeah, I'm glad the cat wasn't the bomb, which is what people were saying. But then this is basically kind of like nearing the end of the show. We see Avasarala and her talking about her little, thing that she's made, propaganda thing that she's made. She's making everyone feel the same way, look the same way, seem the same way, so they don't hate each other so much. They're all weak.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
That's stupid. And then Drummer is getting all triggered by that guy losing his arms, even though he grows back. Whatever.
Yeah, like why is she so? It's just
it would make more sense if the guy had died because they were in this really hardcore relationship or whatever, and then she if he died, she would be like, "Oh, that's it. Like I'm done." Mark was still out.
Right.
One guy, the other. I'm so bad with freaking names. I know I'm Canadian.
Maybe the trauma of watching the arm get cut off was like, I've had it.
That's it. I'm over it. No, it was like the other guy, the one that she Ashford. You killed Ashford. You killed.
A string of people. She's lost so many people.
Yeah, you killed Fred Johnson. You killed Ashford. Now you kill this guy.
You killed my husband.
Done with you.
Yeah,
you killed my husband or whatever. I'm fucking done with your shit. Like I'm coming to get your ass. That would have made a little bit more sense, but this guy just lost an arm and it's growing back, and she's like, "That's it, I'm fucking done."
I'm angry at you, but I'll be over it when his arm gets back. Okay.
Elvis says Drummer is consumed by hate. She's only in for some Inaros love. Damn. So I'm guessing you voted. I'm guessing, Elvis, that you voted for Drummer to kill Inaros because that is the poll for tonight. Who is going to kill Inaros? Which is when she goes and makes her Game of Thrones speech, tells everyone the words of the House Martell. Then Inaros.
Well, they didn't have a great ending, so I don't know.
They didn't. That's not good foreshadowing. Then this
she should have just said "Winter is coming."
Yes.
Oh my God! Can you imagine if they had said that? That would have been kind of funny, actually. Then we get this scene from this dude, which basically she disobeyed his order of spacing the other commander or the other captain, and that he said space him if he questions my whatever. He's just killing everybody. Like I'm like, dude, just go around killing people that are like actually loyal to you. That's when you lose your loyalty. Like there's no freaking point in following this guy if they're gonna die anyway.
Right.
And that's pretty much where her drummer was at. I feel like she was like, you know what, you freaking hunted me down. Like I'm over it. No, I'm gonna come get your ass now. Which is like finally God. Meanwhile, Philip is having another emotional moment with this. Talking about why didn't the bomb go
another
off?
emotional moment.
Another emotional moment. Why didn't the bomb go off? And then he's like, well, I don't know, but somebody disarmed it. Like, and he's telling him straight up, somebody disarmed it. Like, it wasn't like it wasn't a freak accident. Somebody disarmed it. So I'm guessing he's thinking that his mommy did it.
Yeah.
I don't think he's thinking Holden did it, but he's thinking mommy dearest decided not to kill him. But that's not the case. She actually did want to kill him. So then drummer gets on the TV, tells them, you know what, I'm gonna fuck you.
I'm coming for you.
This dude says something like, you know what, at least we found out it's not the Earthers. And Philip freaks out and he's like, what'd you just fucking say about my daddy? This war, bitch. And he gets up, gives a speech about how you can't, there's no turning back now. He says, there's no turning back. We've made our choice. And he walks towards the bridge where that girl basically earlier in the episode was telling him, like, you got to step up. You got to be there for your dad. And now he's like, you know what? Like, yeah, which makes no fucking sense because 2 seconds ago you found out your mom didn't kill you and you were all questioning like all these different things. And now it's all like, okay, now, yeah, I'm going to make that choice of killing my mom now again. Like,
makes no sense.
Are we sure the writers of the show aren't bipolar?
Or drunk?
Lots of writers are drunk.
I feel like
there's something wrong. It's like
one of the reasons why I don't have too many writer friends is because I'm very Eastern and Western European genes and I don't get drunk easily or at all. Like we can do shots for like 3 hours straight. So I'm sober as a dog.
Oh, there you
They're
go.
just wasted.
Wow. That would be me, script doctor. I literally have like a sip and I'm like, what's up, everybody?
Yeah, we saw the other day.
No, you didn't. You didn't see anything.
You were on stream wasted.
Show the Movie Man 71. Thank you so much for the $2. Hulk Peaches kills Marcos a la Arya Night King. Bam. No, don't say that. Oh no. It's gonna happen. I'm starting to think that's exactly what's gonna happen. I feel like
maybe a Vasarala will do it.
Dumb that's why Peaches is there. Because why else would she be there? There's no other reason for her to be there.
No, the chat is suggesting that he could be faking it. I don't think so, though.
What about a Vasarala? I still think the way this show is going, she meets him and she chokes him out. What
do you mean, Jane?
Yeah, hooks.
Holden These Nuts said he could be faking it. And I don't think...
Who's faking it?
Philip. Like the whole speech.
Oh, you think he's faking the list? Like, I'm gonna like
the loyalty to the
save
dad.
my daddy.
After he realizes his mom, he triggered the bomb.
I don't think so. I don't think he could even pull that off because he's so emotional.
Mm-hmm.
I think when he was saying that it's too far gone, I think he's referring, if anything, to himself. And with everything he's done, it's simply there's no going back now. And so he's going to go all in, I think, in supporting his father and his mission.
That's what it seems like.
Right.
But then again, he does it every 5 minutes. And then
the next scene is going to be like, never mind, I hate you, daddy. Fuck you. Elvis says, Avasarala will not come close to Marco. Damn, that's like an all in caps.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I don't think she'll be the one.
It was just a joke.
I think that but that's the thing. That's why I put the all of the above. I think they're all gonna be there. There's gonna be like some sort of tribunal, and they're gonna recreate that scene when drummer voted not to space him. I feel like they're gonna recreate that scene, and they're all gonna be like, yeah, space, and then they're all gonna be like, yo, you're fucking getting space.
Maybe like a game jump in, they all get a punch in.
Yeah. They're all gonna beat the shit out of him at some point. 200 Watt Studios for 5 says, so script theoretically, could one use Oprah to capture, say, Amazon Prime Video?
Yeah. There's a default extension in that where you can capture stuff from streaming services, and then other people have written their own extensions to do other stuff. I haven't really explored those ones, but yeah, you should be okay. I mean, it's a free web browser, so
I have that.
No harm, no foul there.
Cool.
Thank you for that $5. And Teenage Hormones in Space.
Yeah.
Says Raj Williams. That's pretty much it. But yeah, so that's the end of episode 4. Let's go around and basically give us our final thoughts and theories for next episode. George, what how did you feel about the whole episode? And
I just thought it was too much reflection, not enough moving forward. I still think that it's going to be Philip who's going to take out his dad. He just goes so back and forth, but I just have a funny feeling it's going to be him to take out the father. And I think Drummer's going to end up being the one to take over. Like, I am the new leader of the Belters.
I think she is gonna too. I'm gonna end the poll now, so let's see what the end results were. Wait, what happens to the freaking poll once you end it? Nothing. It goes away because
there it is. So, 41% for Drummer Naomi, 29% for Philip, 26% for all of the above, and 2% for Avasarala.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Wait, can you read those again? What did Drummer and Naomi get?
41%.
Philip got 29. All of the above is 26%. And hey, 2% for Avasarala. I'm telling you, she can kick ass. I'm telling you, that woman is ferocious.
She's great. I love her.
Yeah.
Wait, I got this one. 200 Watt Studios for 2 says, I'll be my bunk.
I'll be in my bunk.
I'll be in my bunk.
Getting some rack time. Okay, cool.
George, people are screaming out your name.
Hello, everybody. Love
there
you.
Go. Okay. I was gonna say Peaches. Jane. I read Peaches in the chat, and I was like, Jane, tell us your final thoughts and your theory, Jane theory. For next episode.
Like I said before, the only 2 things that I really enjoyed this episode were the very beginning when we got the Laconia story, even though it didn't take us very far. And I like the space scenes, the battle scene. Well, not the battle scene,
really
but
like those too.
the where they basically attach themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
They attach themselves. That was really cool. I like seeing sort of Belter's strategy and how they live their lives. I thought that was really fun and exciting. And I want to see more of that, but I suspect that next episode is going to be much more talking than even what we got this time around. A lot more emotion and feelings and nothing else. I think
you're
whatever we're going to get that's good.
Penultimate episode is going to be shit. Is that what you're saying?
It is. It is. And whatever is good remaining in the show will be left as part of a cliffhanger in the very last episode.
Jane, I really hope you're not right about that theory.
That's it. Nothing is happening next. It's going to be pure filler.
Jesus,
I hope that at least they start the fight. Like they're going to just...
No, it's not. They'll talk about it. They'll talk about it.
Oh my God, I hope not. I hope at least they start the freaking fight. Oh God.
But they should have started a long time ago.
You're right. They should have.
You're right. You're not wrong.
Episode 1.
People are saying that wait, Philip might suicide himself and Marco. Okay, yeah, people are saying that Marco might suicide himself. You know what?
He's so arrogant, though.
He's such a narcissist. I can't see him killing himself.
Yeah, but when things go really wrong, like, you know, kind of like Hitler, like some people just like end themselves because they can't bring themselves to, you know, hand
Philippe
themselves
Zeta
in.
Braun?
Now what could happen is since he does still have Philippe, he could take out his ship to kill the child to hurt Naomi.
Yeah, that could.
I could see that too.
I could see him martyring himself so his name lives on, like doing something like that. where he's like, my name will never die type of thing. That I could see.
That I can see that too. Like some sort of weird, like, suicide bomb thing or something like that. That he's like, I'm gonna take out.
They really shouldn't do that to the ethnic guy, though.
But remember,
God.
But do you remember 2 episodes back at the end of the episode, and they haven't brought it back up? He gave an order to somebody on a screen about moving something and doing a
Laconia.
test on one of the rings. He's like, tell me how it works out. So I'm like, maybe that's like
that. I think that was being hinted at the beginning of this episode when that guy ran in and was like, we're getting the signals and like blah blah blah. Like they're either getting signals from whatever the hell that guy was talking about in that episode, or whatever they're playing around with the alien thing. That's all speculation for us. But I think Marcos does have some sort of kind of like like an in, like he knows a little bit more of what's going on over there on the other side than Holden and them do. That's for sure. Elvis is screaming out that Philip will not kill Marco. Okay. All
right. Well, yeah, we'll find out in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we will definitely find out. Script Doctor, final thoughts and theory.
Yeah, this was kind of a sluggish moving episode. I expect in the next episode we're going to be on series, but we're going to dwell so much on how the explosion happened and who did it and how they're going to do. It's going to be a lot of talking on relief efforts and supplies and things of that nature.
God,
that's even worse than this episode.
Maybe Amos is going to have learned to see other parts of the series that isn't brothels and bars.
Right. I think he's going to hook up. Didn't add that. Him and Bobby. I think it's.
Oh, you think they're going to bang?
Yeah,
okay, there you go. There's another theory.
He doesn't even look remotely interested.
I know, but they just keep bringing him closer and closer each episode while he keeps treating Peaches like a sister, like you had mentioned one week.
Yeah.
But this time, it's like when you see the first time she comes on this ship, you saw the distance they had, and now it's everybody else has splintered off. Peaches is alone, and they're together more and more.
But here's the thing, though. She in this episode has on a tank top.
Right.
He doesn't even glance.
Right.
Like they could have played that subtly, like he was into her.
I think the music was their foreplay. I don't know. I took it that way.
So weird.
I know, but they've done some weird stuff, but I think it's, yes, George wants space banging. No,
George wants space banging.
Well, we haven't had any zero gravity banging since the pilot, really.
Since the pilot,
yes, since the pilot. You know what though? Like that's funny because George, like, I just want something to happen in this fucking season. Can we just get some banging at least? Because there's nothing else going on.
Or comedy. Just could you imagine if it was what Philip did by standing up for his dad? I was just thinking, could you imagine if it was Holden? And I'm standing up for my 32 mothers and 22 fathers. You know, let me name them all.
Awkward banging scene with Philip too. Like, didn't he bang that other girl? I don't remember.
It's sort of like a cargo hold.
Random girl.
Yeah, that was gross. I was like, I don't want to see this. But I don't know, whatever.
Meanwhile, the adults have zero interest in each other.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. As for me, I think that God, I don't know what to think. Now that you guys have said all this, like I'm like, I thought they were gonna start the damn, like at least they're gonna start the battle or something, and then they're gonna like end it in the final episode, and then kind of like go into the Laconia thing, the last final half of the episode or whatever. But now I'm thinking maybe we're not even going to get any Laconia stuff till like basically the last 15 minutes, and then it being like the last 15 minutes that they're going to show us, like, you know, what happens, and then give us that big giant cliffhanger, and then end it on that.
And no big bang, Jesus.
No. So
kind of boring.
I can't believe they're going to be boring for the last episode. I mean, remember when we saw at the beginning of the Laconia, you saw that ship. So I said, hey, there's some excitement. Something's going to happen. And then it just kind of like drifted away.
Well, it's going to be the penultimate first. You guys are thinking penultimate's going to be boring. I hope not. I hope at least we find, I mean, like that we've got this big threat now from Drummer. I feel like maybe Drummer is going to be like, you know, let's start the fucking war and actually go and do something about Marco.
But that could also be the joke, because we saw with the sand snakes, they were built up and then nothing happened.
Yes, you're right. Has anyone even seen a teaser? Usually by now, don't they show like a 10-second teaser for the finale?
I haven't seen anything.
No.
I haven't seen anything either.
That just worries me because you usually would get those clips in 2 weeks, and you'll just see just clips that don't make any sense.
Well, usually, I mean, usually when a series as big as this is coming to an end, you get a lot more promos. Like it's coming to an end. Like,
who will die? Who will live?
like this
Who
is
will
the final
sleep again?
season,
Right.
and blah blah blah. I haven't seen anything, to be completely honest with you. I'm not very. I don't. Their marketing team is trash. I don't know.
I agree completely.
We didn't even get much like from the beginning of this season. Like there was not very many like ads or anything. Like it's the final season. It's season 6. Like come watch. Like but we didn't get anything.
Most of it I keep finding on Screen Rant or Deadline. I mean, nothing else. Just what they write up about it. Yeah,
Amazon just does a really bad job at promoting their shows. I feel like I don't know about half of the stuff that's coming out until somebody sees it and they tell me about it.
They're basically like, when you're shopping, you'll see a picture in the background or something. Like that's their promotion.
Yeah, kind of.
They'll stick it on the box.
And what's worse is talk about their promotion. When I had found those clips, those 5-minute clips, they said it was in a Screen Rant article, I believe, or Deadline. It's one of those two. The producer said, and this is for the fans, it will give them an extra almost 30 minutes of the show when you put them all together. But Amazon says, but right now it's a special process. You can only see it on a tablet or on a phone. Like you can't see it on your computer.
Oh my God.
Because it says X-ray. So I tried it on my PC, couldn't find it. I went to my iPhone and, right as you get to the end of the episode, you'll see a little thing up to the top left. It says X-ray and that's what you click to get it.
Oh, Script. That's why you couldn't find it.
Yeah, if you have Fire Stick, you can get it.
But
oh my God.
I'm like, it only works on phones and tablets. I'm like,
but that's dumb. Like, why would you even do this?
But they were trying to make it sound like, and this is a special thing only for you who owns phones, or tablets.
Oh my God.
I'm not supposed to watch this on a phone.
Right. That was my point. They just don't seem to have a great marketing or PR department.
People in the chat are talking about another sci-fi series, The Silent Sea, that's on Netflix. Have you guys checked that out?
I haven't heard of it.
It's great.
What's it about?
It's a Korean sci-fi drama. It is about.
They're salvagers, aren't they?
No. Well, kind of. It's about something that happens on a space on a moon station.
Okay.
Something bad happens, and people are sent there to figure out what. Without giving any spoilers, the story is basically, they're going to the moon to figure out what happened on the station.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it's pretty good. Like it's really, really good. I liked it. It had some problems, it's not perfect. But it was good. It was really fun. It was exciting. It's different.
Netflix is buying up all the Korean stuff.
They are. And this was another one. I do recommend it. I highly recommend it. I mean, I told Az to watch it. I think he watched it.
Netflix needs to supplement its content from having lost a bunch of the big studio titles.
Office and
and they're
their
doing
own streaming services, right? So they're going more international, which is cool because people are able to actually experience other genres and styles of storytelling and filmmaking.
Yep.
But they're going to oversaturate it really quick because South Korea puts out a lot of stuff, and I do have South Korean relatives, and it's just as much of a hit and miss over there.
Oh, really? Because it was looking like everything they made was great. I was like, wow.
No,
if
it's
it
definitely
travels
a hit and
internationally,
miss.
it's usually pretty good. But if it stays locally, it's not. Just like Canada and the United States, it's
gotcha.
It is what it is.
Sean the movie Man 71 is asking if it's woke. It's a Korean drama, so I don't know what you mean by woke. Like I don't know because they're all Koreans.
They're all Koreans. It's all Korean sensibilities.
Very Korean. So no.
And I think that's sort of the appeal for Americans too. Is it's a different cultural perspective.
Mm-hmm.
The woke stuff that we get out of Hollywood today. So even some of their bad stuff seems good compared to the trash we're getting.
Well, I can tell you there's something my family's been watching. I can't even remember when they changed the channel. Aunts and uncles. It's called The Magnificent Century. It's about the Turkish Empire. Oh my God. And I was like, yeah, it's in Turkish. It's got subtitles. It was on YouTube. It's on YouTube, and then you can see it on Netflix. But it starts with Suleiman the Great, and then it goes on. But every time the series ends, they go like, okay, this is what happened after Suleiman. So it's another 100 episodes. And now they're going back to the beginning of before the Turkish Empire started. And I'm like, how many episodes are there? There's only 5 seasons, 500 episodes. I'm like, what?
What?
I mean, it's like this huge.
Shit. Dude,
That's huge,
insane.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, and I heard about it from my cousin in Grace. Who
Is it like a day for day reenactment?
It is. It's and he had called me. He's like, "Don't tell anybody. I'm watching this Turkish show." Because in Greece, it's kind of like the Greek,
a little contentious. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So he's like, but it's considered to be the first global European hit. Like it's got hundreds of millions of followers. I never heard of it. They're like, oh, okay. But it's called The Magnificent Century. And then after it's done, it's like Kosem, the first female who ruled behind a sultan. And then it goes back to the beginning. So it's really interesting.
Does it have English subtitles? Because I'm actually interested in that.
Yeah, it does.
Cool.
I even thought I'd review it. I was like, no one's ever reviewed it for a second, but I watched it. I'm like, how do you tell people, okay, buckle up for 500 episodes?
Damn, that's a long. Dude, I can't even get 10 from The Expanse. And these people are doing freaking 500 episodes.
And the production, and when I saw the first few episodes of Magnificent Century, it's amazing. I'm like, their acting was phenomenal. I was like, I just didn't expect it. It's Turkish television.
Right.
And I had a preconception of basically outside the U.S. I was like, okay, how great can things be? I mean, I love British television. I love Greek television, Italian, but I'm like Turkish. I'm like Korean. But then I started seeing Squid Game. I'm like, and now I started watching this. I'm like, oh my God, they're beating our ass.
That's international film is
George,
amazing.
that happened to me with a Persian series as well called Shahzad. And it's about basically like the Iranian Revolution and how the Iranian Revolution happened, and like just
good.
It starts from like prior to basically like the Shah, like how they kicked out the monarchs and stuff like that, and then like how it happens, and it goes into like the whole thing, and it's all about. It's called Shahzad, and it's about this girl named Shahzad. That's the main character, and it's about her story. And it's really, it's really well done. And it's like they filmed it in Iran. This was one of the biggest productions in Iran that happened. And they did have like, because they have to have their hair covered and stuff like that, even though back in those times they didn't. Right. But even that is done so well because they do it with like really stylish hats and stuff like that. So it's all to the times of like how like it's dressed and everything. The cars there, like all like everything, all the 70s and all the basically the era stuff is like all there, and it's just so well done. Like it's one of my favorite Persian shows ever made, like Farsi shows ever made. It's
cool.
So good.
I wrote it down. I'm gonna look for it.
It's actually on YouTube. I found out they have the first season.
Oh, cool.
It's like
I like those shows.
4 or 5 seasons, but it's I think I forget how many seasons it was, but they definitely have the first season on YouTube. And I was like, and it has subtitles, and I was like, oh my God, I need to tell more people to watch this.
You should. Really that show I was telling you, The Magnificent Century, the third prequel. So Suleiman, and it's about how he has his harem, and then basically Suleiman, and then 2 generations later, and now they have a prequel called Resurrection, and that's actually on Netflix. I was surprised. It's got all the same, and it's about the founding, how they were all nomadic tribes until they formed the Turkish state. So it goes back, and so it's pretty interesting.
Wow, that's really cool. Thanks for telling me about that, George. Actually, Jane, you brought up Bollywood. Bollywood's really good too. I like
Bollywood. Makes more money than Hollywood.
Come on.
Yeah,
it does.
Believe it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Hollywood, the population of India and how much movies they make and how much they consume is actually kind of fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, like I petition for jobs over there all the time.
Really? Wow.
Oh yeah, they need people to like help write their scripts and do translations. So there'll be a translator who'll tell you what they're saying, and then you got to take that. What it is verbatim, and then kind of make it sound more English appropriate, and then you sell it back to them and whatnot. And no, they have a great cinema market. They do still have the same type of follies that the industry normally has, but Bollywood's awesome.
Oh, cool. No, I always love American television and the BBC until the last couple of years. I just lived on the English. I loved English television.
The silence. I will say this though, with regards to it being woke, I will say this. The Silent Sea is definitely one of those shows where you have female protagonists, like there's a female protagonist. There's several females in the show, but it's done right. Like it's not like, oh, these people have no qualifications. Like, why are they here? Kind of thing. Like
And
the
that's true in
way.
a lot of international films. That's what's so funny is that you have people in Hollywood trying to correct like
Mhm,
foreign markets on what they should or shouldn't show with respect to quote unquote diversity, but they actually do it. And they
mhm.
do it well when they do it.
Yes, and they did this very well. So I will say this, and the other thing that I will say this, like even though I thought the story wasn't as strong as it could have been, like there's certain things I would have liked it to be more strong about, like this, some of the writing script or whatever. But my God, the cinematography for this show
Mm.
was off the hook, man. Like there are certain shots and the lighting and the way that is done is magnificent. Like it's top tier shit with regards to the way it's shot, the footages, like everything like that. It's magnificent.
Yeah,
It's
some of
really,
that stuff
the
is
music,
amazing.
it's
Even
really
Raj is bringing it up. That's the show. Sorry, I just saw
Oh,
it.
that's which one? The Silent Sea.
The third one. Yeah, Raj, that's it, Raj. The third
Okay.
one. Yeah, you'd like it. I think everyone would like it. I mean, because the cinematography, you'd like it. There are a couple of scenes when you do the battle scenes, like you'll see they will haze out the blood. Like someone goes to cut someone, there's like a blur over it. They don't show it, but you get used to it. But the costume and everything, there's no woke. Obviously, this is like 13th
Right. This
century.
is yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Oh, they
Yeah.
didn't do the all Anne Boleyn thing from the BBC.
Like,
no.
Okay, that's good.
yeah, it's the same with Shahzad. It's not woke, and women are not treated well in Iran, and it's very historically accurate.
What's great is they show you in Suleiman. Sorry, I didn't mean to take up the time. They show you how the harem, the concubine, the power that it gained, and how they were actually running a lot of stuff through the centuries behind the throne.
Yeah.
That's all.
I mean, if your concubine don't put out and they ask you to do something, you acquiesce because you can probably kill them, but you'll run through your favorite concubines pretty fast.
Yeah, no woke in Islamic Ottoman Empire. Yeah, no.
No.
But anyways, on that note, thank you so much, everybody, for joining me tonight. It has been a fun discussion. I can't wait to be back for the penultimate episode, which apparently, according to Jane, is going to be boring as fuck. I hope not. But that's her theory, and we're gonna go with that. Next week we will be back Sunday to talk about it. Jane, what do you got going on? Tell everybody what.
Actually, I just released I guess you can call it a review of that episode of Superman Red and Blue comic.
Oh no, the one where he's getting back in prison.
Yeah. I had to I didn't know who wrote it at first. So I found out a little bit about him, and so that's in there, and a little bit more about the second comic in that series that's just as bad. So
oh no,
yeah.
That's the one where Superman's been tortured for 8 months.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's really hard to wrap your head around.
No, I don't want to wrap my head around it. I refuse. It's fucking bullshit.
Like the entire Justice League would be searching for him.
Of course they would. Batman, especially.
Batman would find him, of course.
Sean the Movie Man says, "What a great stream! I was able to get my frustrations out." Yeah, no problem. Come back next Sunday. We will get. I'm sure we're all going to be very frustrated. And then for the final episode, Gary from Nerdrotic will be here, so we're going to be talking to him.
That's going to be great.
That's going to be a fun
Absolutely.
show. So what else you got going on, Jane? You got your reviews out? Anything else?
Yeah, that's it. You can find me on YouTube. I post movie and television reviews and occasionally some pop culture commentary. You can also find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at Jane Theory.
Thank you so much, Jane. Raj Williams says space feelings in ship hallways.
Those are called corridors.
That's probably what's gonna happen with Philip, like the entire episode. I love you, Daddy. I hate you, Daddy. I love you, Daddy. I hate you, Daddy. That's
I love you, son. Get out of my face.
Fuck you, son.
It's all your fault.
You have to live by your mother's name, not mine.
Yes. And then the blonde will be trying to make Peacemaker. We'll just all have sex and we'll get along. No.
And then drummer will come with her fucking
Yeah.
polyamorous Sally.
Let's
Can
have
we
an
join?
orgy. Yeah.
Is this like some sort of porno that we're talking about now? Oh
Like
my
she'll say,
God.
"I'll make you a real man, a real belter man."
A real belter man, yes.
A real belter man. Let's go. Okay, never mind.
Poster says that Philippe will detonate the torpedo, but the problem is that he doesn't even know anything about engineering.
Right.
He knows nothing. Yeah.
He knows nothing about many things.
Oh my God, isn't that like another Game of Thrones sign? He knows nothing. You know nothing,
You know
Philip.
nothing, Philippe.
Oh my God. Script Doctor, what you got going on?
Earlier today, I did my first solo live stream where I played a little bit of Ghostbusters, the video game remastered.
Oh.
Needed something to do after a bunch of writing, and at the same time, my Mac computer is being repaired by my sister's boyfriend right now, so I can't do any videos yet, even though I was like 3/4 done one and it conked out on me.
Oh, that
So
sucks.
when that comes back, I'll be dropping some videos. Hopefully, it'll be in the next few days or so. I don't know for sure. I don't know what's wrong with it. But until then, yeah, I did that. So go check out that. It was a little bumpy at first, but went pretty smooth afterwards, and great interaction. So thanks so much for everyone that was joining me there. And otherwise, just follow me on Twitter at ScriptDoctorPhD, where I'll post where I'll be showing up and throughout that week.
Script Doctor, you got to get on Getter now. That's a new thing.
I've been on Getter since July.
Oh, good. So that's the new thing. I'm gonna be getting on that soon. I haven't.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, I'm too freaking lazy, man. I haven't made my account yet. I'll get to it.
Getter.
Yeah, Getter. It sounds like such a Canadian thing. That's what we used to say all the time. Getter.
It's a southern thing too, like get her done.
Get her done. That's exactly what we say in Canada. Get her done.
Get her done.
Get her done. And F off, eh?
Yeah, totally.
It's exactly like that. We don't say the full word. We just say F off, eh?
Okay, yeah. The links of everyone is in the description below, including George Giant Slayer. Tell everyone where they can find you.
You can find me at George the Giant Slayer, and I'll be dropping my review of Boba Fett, episode 1, Stranger in a Strange Land, plus a political article. So this should be out Tuesday and Thursday.
Cool.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram.
Yay! I don't have your Instagram link, but Twitter is in the description. Thank you everyone for joining me. As for me, I don't know if Chrissy Mayer is still going with Simcast. I might be going over there after this.
Cool.
Otherwise, I don't know what's going on with Toxic Femme tomorrow. So you can find me on The Real BBC on Tuesday. I think we're on Az's channel this week. So Heel versus Babyface, you can find me there on Tuesday. And you can find me here probably Wednesday and Fridays, of course, for Infinite Hope. As always, thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. It was fun, fantastic show, and we will be back again next Sunday. Any parting words on everybody? Are we good?
That's it.
Have a great year.
Yeah. Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.